make money, make muscles, learn game. If you're listening to me, you're a hot dude. The hot dude life is not about your physical appearance. The hot dude life is a mentality. The Hot Dude Army is a global network, and the Hot Dude Army is everywhere. Decrease your judgment of others and increase the judgment of yourself. You belong to the streets, huh?
100%.
It starts with learning dating, and then you move on to something to push humanity forward. That is the philosophy of modern life dating.
This is a textbook example of really good game.
Boom, baby. We are live. Good morning and happy Money Monday to everybody out there. It is time to get your weekend started right. Welcome to Interview with the Man, episode 399. Control the data that enters your mind. I am your host with the most, Jonathan from modernlifedating.com. And how's everybody doing today, man? Another day, another dollar. It was a wild weekend for me over here, bros. It was a wild weekend. Good Lord. I'm still feeling it. I am absolutely still feeling it. So I have a local Tokyo Men's Success Network, and there's 11 members in the group, including myself. And we went out on Saturday night, and your boy got wild. I got super wild. I only have two settings, 0 or 100%, and I was going 100% on Saturday night. Oh, Lord. I will say this. Let me just tell you guys something that I noticed as we let all the people are going to pile on in a little bit late. It's all good. Today's episode is really going to be a very deep lesson, and it will be probably one of the hardest lessons you could ever learn from me, and you'll understand by the end of the episode. But I really just wanted to put this episode out and talk about what's happening right now in the world, because the number one thing everybody is fighting for these days is real estate space in your mind, okay? They are fighting extremely hard to get your attention. We're in the attention economy, okay? And it's just so unbelievably apparent once you see what's going on the back end of these companies like Twitter, Facebook. Really shouldn't say Twitter because Twitter's really irrelevant. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. They're all fighting for your attention, and you really have to guard your mind now more than ever, because the fight for your attention is at an all-time high right now. These companies are trying so hard to keep your attention. You have to understand that even your iPhone and these applications, all of these things are literally engineered to make you addicted and to keep you as cracked out using their services as much as possible, right? They did a study about a year ago, 2 years ago, and they found out that the number one competitor that Netflix has right now is sleep. Okay? Literally. When these companies are literally trying to get you to sleep less, to consume their services, I mean, one, it's extremely evil, right? And two, they don't have your best interests in mind. You have to understand, guys, now more than ever, people are, and especially in the West, right, where families have pretty much been thrown under the bus and no one really cares about families anymore. These companies, they want to divide, conquer, and extract. They want to divide us. They want to conquer each of us individually, and they want to extract as much out of us as possible. This is why you see all the politicians and the companies targeting women, right? Because women are more easily manipulated based upon their emotional campaign messages and marketing messages. And they're easier to extract money from. They're easier to sell to. And they're easier to get votes from because they're easier to emotionally manipulate, right? And time after time, studies here verify what I'm saying. So I'm going to talk to you guys about controlling the data that enters your mind. And, one thing that I really noticed was like this video that we're going to cover today. It's really some good old-fashioned, old-school American wisdom before America got infected with the woke virus. I've been studying a little bit of Roman history. And, it seems that America and Rome are pretty similar in many ways. There's a couple good quotes by this guy that I've been listening to, or not listening to, but like reading and whatnot. His name is Cato the Elder. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It could be Cato the Elder. But, I want to read a couple quotes from this guy, and then I want to talk about what's going on today with negativity now more than ever. Have you guys heard of this? I think this is pretty fascinating stuff. Let me pull it up and put it on the screen. Let me say what's up to my bros in the army today. What is up? So we got Cody Mouse in the house, premium member. What is up? JB84, what is up? Infamous Rifle, what is up, brother, my man? Sergio Zubute, what is up? Artemis Cameron, my man, what's up? Sami Shi, what's up, buddy? Know Your Worth, what is up? Colonel Sanders, what's up? Colonel Sanders says, I'm sick, but I'm still going to lift. Good stuff. Make sure you recover hard, brother, man. Recover hard. Let's see. Who else? Christian Matico, it says, never had Netflix. I only watch RP content and Vegeta motivational vids. That's why you're so fucking beast, baby. I love it. Dude, Christian, you are killing the game, bro. Keep going, dude. You are on hard mode with your life right now, and I just love that you're not giving up. Take a look at this. This is very, very interesting. This is Cato the Elder, and back in the day, he said, woman is a violent and uncontrolled animal, and it is useless to let go the reins and then expect her not to kick over the traces. You must keep her on a tight rein. Women want total freedom, or rather, to call things by their names. Total license. If you allow them to achieve complete equality with men, do you think that they will be easier to live with? Not at all. Once they have achieved equality, they will be your masters. Pretty wild quote. Somebody says, what are your thoughts on Connor Murphy? Connor Murphy and I did a podcast before. I think we chatted, and he seems like a really cool kid. I think I don't know what the heck happened to him. I think he took some drugs and kind of we had that breakdown or whatever. But I don't know. I really don't think like taking those psychedelic drugs lightheartedly is a good idea. I mean, personally, like a lot of people say, hold on, OCD perfectionism kicking in. Okay, there we go, perfect. Well, a lot of people tell me, like, you have to do ayahuasca and you have to take DMT, and then they say you have like this spiritual experience and whatever. But what I believe is that it's just a psychedelic drug, and it distorts your perception of reality, and then your hormones and your brain connections, everything in your mind, that is your perception of reality. And I believe that these people, they do these drugs, and they believe they have some spiritual awakening. They believe that they have some encounter with God or the higher power. But I just believe that it is the chemicals in these drugs fucking with your brain, and then from there you think you have some sort of spiritual experience. You have some sort of God encounter, but I don't believe in that. I don't believe in God. I do believe something created us, and I think that's what people perceive as God. But I don't believe in God. I don't believe in Allah. I don't believe in Vishnu. I don't believe in Shiva. I don't believe in the flying spaghetti monster. I'm a very pragmatic man, and I just don't think that taking these kind of drugs are going to give you some sort of spiritual experience. I think it's quite foolish, and you only got one brain. You only got one hard drive, man. And if you scramble that thing, like, you're fucked forever, and then you die. So, Tom Graff says he believes in Crypto Jesus. I too believe in Miguel, and he's a great guy. What can I say? There's another good quote here I want to read from, I believe it's Cato the Elder. I don't know if the pronunciation is correct. But yeah, here we go. Miguel Bo. Here's another quote here. He says, "We cannot control the evil tongues of others, but a good life enables us to disregard them. An angry man opens his mouth and shuts his eyes." MGTOW. "Grasp the subject, the words will follow. Old age has deformities enough of its own. It should never add to them the deformity of vice. Cessation of work is not accompanied by cessation of expenses. 'Tis sometimes the height of wisdom to feign stupidity." I've been doing this lately. "It is a hard matter, my fellow citizens, to argue with the belly, since it has no ears. Wise men learn more from fools than fools from the wise." This is probably like the story of why I became successful. "From the lightest words, sometimes the direst quarrel springs. The best way to keep good acts in memory is to refresh them with new," I think it's actions. Can't see that after. But yeah, some good stuff there from our brother, Cato the Elder. So yeah, Cato. Oh, English, it's fine to say Cato. Latin pronunciation is Cato. Interesting. Let me pop out the chat and put it over here so it looks like my chat is like so over here. Let's put it over here so I can. Now it looks, when I look in this direction, I look like I'm looking at you guys.
If you guys don't donate $100 right now, you're a beta male, you're a cuck, you're blue pill for life. You better send me $1,000 in donation right now.
And that's
$5. I am rich. Thank you so much, my brother, Colonel Sanders, 16. He says, these new age, quote, spiritually awakened, end quote, individuals are simply deluded and looking for an excuse to do psychedelics. They're often womenist. Coincidence? No. You know, I have a friend, and he was like one of the most red pill guys I've ever met in my entire life. Natural alpha guy. And one night we just went out. We just got belligerent drunk, right? We were both security guards at this nightclub. His name was Tim. Tim really changed my life when I met this guy. And, you know, he told me, he's like, religion's for the weak. And he's like, a lot of people just can't cope with the fact that our inevitable death is coming. And they can't cope with the fact that one day it's all over for them. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm here to live. I'll die like a man. You know, and I grew up in the church. Do I want to believe? Hell yeah. I want to live forever. I'm not trying to die. I had a mini existential crisis today. I have them every day. But yeah, you know, I just think it's very dangerous to take psychedelic drugs and then claim, you know, hey, this is some kind of spiritual awakening or whatever. Just can't really get on board with that one. Let me tell you guys something. So I'm a little like a little not down today, but I want to just tell you guys what happened to me this week. I just came from the gym I just got home like an hour and a half ago from the gym, and I was killing it with my buddy Federico. Last week, right? So I've been doing the celery juice every morning. Did it this morning as well. And I've been eating so clean, right? Really clean, like cooking everything for myself. You know, I screwed up a couple times last night. Screwed up in the sense that I had 4 tacos from Taco Bell out here. So, I mean, oh my God, my macros are permanently destroyed. No, nothing like that. But for the majority, I've just been eating rice, chicken, steak, ground beef, or salad, right? And I like to use this wasabi-based dressing, which is phenomenal. Like it's like an oily-based wasabi dressing. And so I was telling the boys Saturday night, like I am just like, my mind is just so clear, and I'm just so dialed in. I'm just like, everything is clear. I'm just like so sharp, right? And then Saturday we went out to Outback, and you know I had some cheese fries, and you know Charlie ordered some wings, and we shared some wings, and I had some steak and whatever. Then we went out drinking, and we got home. I got home at like 6:30. Charlie and Jacob stayed out a little bit later than I am, and they got home to my place like 8 a.m. And you know, they slept in the living room, and then I slept in my bedroom. And we woke up on Sunday, and then I was just like, you know, it's good to see because, you know, Charlie and Jacob's voiced my ambition. Charlie and Jacob, they both live about an hour away from me. Charlie lives fucking far away from me right now. He's outside of Tokyo. And it was so nice to see them. And I love Charlie and I love Jacob. They're like my really good friends in real life. Like, it's not like some fake internet thing. Like, these guys are my homies, and I would die for these guys. So I was like, you know, we're all hungover. I was like, let's just get some pizza. I'll pay for everybody's pizza. Pizza's a little bit expensive in Japan. Like a personal pan pizza is anywhere between like $15 to $20, you know, and like, who cares? I'm not trying to flex. I'm just saying, you know, I bought some pizza for everybody, and, you know, we ate it. And then later in the day, I had like a small thing of Pringles, and I had some chocolate covered almonds. Right. And I woke up today, and I think my body was just so used to be eating clean and just, you know, working out every day, eating clean, not even drinking coffee, to be honest with you. And like all day today, I've just been like foggy, like mentally foggy. And I think my body is like still processing with like, you know, the alcohol, because I went nuts. I drank a lot. Excuse me. I drink a lot. And then, you know, then the bad food on Sunday, you know, I think that really screwed with me. And so, you know, today Federico left the gym. He was done. But, you know, I stayed in the gym a little bit longer, just, you know, I put in a couple more exercise reps and whatever, just to, just push the shit out of my system and push through this. And so, I'm still a little slow. I'm a little tired because I really crushed in the gym. But anyways, I think that's really important that everybody gives it a shot. Eat super clean, organic juices, juice yourself, do all these things. And, now I'm just like, it's just, I'm just so addicted to living like a clean lifestyle lately. Like, the degeneracy and shit is fun once in a while, but honestly, after you like see the light of like living clean and feeling good, and like I ran into some like real toxic females this weekend as well, because the nightclubs and shit, they attract like shitty women, they attract shitty people in general, to be honest with you, and so like I'm just like I don't know, I was like so dialed in, and so like I had so much momentum, and I feel like because I ate crap food and I drank booze and whatever, that I kind of got like knocked off of the momentum moving forward. So it's just it's just something really important I wanted to tell you men, because we're all here, we're all men, and we're all trying to get better at our lives. So I just feel like it should be something I should let you guys know. But I really like, it's just hard for me to see the ROI of drinking alcohol. And I mean, ultimately the reason we went out was to network and meet with people and everything. Talk about what's going on. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen what's going on with Kusama, but like I could have like 5,000 more haters this year and I just wouldn't even give a fuck, because my Kusama bag is so fat. And bro, we're just about to finish the 3rd month of the year. My Kusama bag is fat as fuck, dude. And Charlie was talking about Kusama for a while, for you guys that where we're Cultivate Crypto course, and Jacob and I, we did the show, the Kusama to dot ratio, and I'm like, my Kusama bag, obviously before the boating accident and I lost all my cryptocurrency and couldn't pay all my taxes on it, and I have to file it as a loss now, and everything's gone. But before that happened, it was a healthy 6 figures, very, very healthy, fertile 6 figures. So that's why we met up with the guys, and that's why we're just popping up here in life, coming up. That's the main purpose of the group that we have here, on the ground. But ultimately, it just was just I think it was just not I'm really running out of reasons to justify drinking. But today what we're going to do is we're actually going to review some old school American wisdom. And lately what I've been doing is waking up, and I've been listening to this first thing in the morning. It's just like no ands, ifs, or buts about it. I wake up, I make my celery juice, and when I'm making my celery juice, I got the new AirPod Maxes, and so they have like really good noise cancellation, so I push the button, I can't hear the juicer, all I can hear is this man speaking. And I'm going to put this in the chat for you guys as well. But, yeah, Cody says, I'm waiting for Cell to do something. Yeah, me too, bro. Me too. Cell is not on my fucking good side right now. What else do I put in my celery juice? Nothing. Nothing. You just use celery juice only. Here we go. But let's go. Let's take a look here. This is so important. So now more than ever, right? It's so important to pay attention to what you put in your mind. Let's put me up in the corner here so you guys can see this. But you have to understand this, guys, right? Whatever you want in life, whether it's success with money, success with muscles, success with game, whatever you want, it all starts with fixing right here, your mind and your inner game. And your inner game is formed from 3 parts, okay? The first one is your childhood and your upbringing. And if you had a bad one, you have to get psychological help. I like to do trauma release through hypnosis. I've done that a bunch. I still have a lot of trauma and I'm still got a lot of stuff that I need to fix in my psyche, but I'm working on it. Number 2 is the self-talk, what you say to yourself on a day-to-day basis, right? You shouldn't be saying things, negative shit to yourself. And then number 3, this is the most important thing, all right? What are you putting into your mind every single day? Okay, I know a lot of you guys, some of you guys like to watch the MGTOW shit and the black pill shit because you find it entertaining, right? But I have to tell you, fundamentally, you are poisoning your mind by watching that shit, okay? Because whether you like it or not, the data you feed yourself constructs your identity and your reality. If you're like, I don't care if you like just watching SJW outrage shit, World Star hip hop knockout videos, or conflict videos. If you're constantly on Twitter fighting with people, that puts your brain in a bad place. Okay, in a very, very bad place. And you really don't want to do that at all because it's going to literally ruin your life. It'll start by ruining yourself, and then it'll start ruining the relationships around you. And, your life will get eroded away. And I just want to play this video. Now, this video is 31 minutes long. And quite frankly, I'm going to take my time to break this down. This is not something that's going to waste your time. This is not something that's going to waste your life. I think that it's Monday. It's Money Monday. It's Motivation Monday. And I think that this is a really good thing to listen to and start off your week with, because I care about you guys. I want you guys to have success in all aspects of life, money, muscles, game, because it's all important. You can't neglect one of these things, because if you neglect one of these things, it'll come bite you in the rear end, okay? If you're a super Chad, you're making 6 figures, upper 5 figures, you're doing well, but your game is not dialed in, you're going to simp out eventually. It's only a matter of time. I have a friend of mine, and he sent me a message, and he was like, dude, I just want to let you know I finally found a unicorn, and like, she's the one, man, and all this. And I was just like, dude, unicorns do not exist, man. And this is a guy he's a good looking guy. His fitness is on point. His money's on point, but he's not as red pilled as he needs to be. And anytime a guy gets excited about a girl, I already that's like a bing red flag for me. So, not a good thing at all to neglect anything. Me personally, I neglected for the last 2 years, right? I neglected my physical fitness not as much as I should have. And, the consequences, guys, a lot of guys don't realize, like, once you get fat, those fat cells are with you forever. The only way you can get rid of them is by literally having surgery to take them out. When you lose weight, you just dehydrate the fat cells, okay? And the thing is, you are not going to be able to like cheat as much and whatnot and slack off as much once you've gotten fat, because once you get fat to a certain level, it's easier to get fat back to that level, okay? If you have good body and you have good game, but your money's fucked up, dude, it's only a matter of time before you run out of energy and run out of relevancy to like kind of eke your way through life, right? As a man, fundamentally, okay? As a man, fundamentally, you must, to live the apex male lifestyle, shout out to my boy Paul, you need money, you need muscles, and you need game, okay? Eat, lift programs and houses, John's right. When you lose weight, you only shrink the cells.
Perfect.
So true. So true. Perfect. But yeah, we're gonna listen to this today. This is some old school wisdom, and I feel like it's 31 minutes long, and I'm gonna do some commentary breakdown on it. But I really feel like I just need to be, the Japanese say komakai with this. I need to be very, very meticulous with this breakdown, and I need to leave no stone unturned, because this has changed my life listening to this. I only started listening to this about a week ago, because one of the guys in my high level mentorship program that I'm a part of, I pay $1,500 a month for my high level mentorship program. And these guys are all high functioning caliber individuals doing $10,000 a month. Plus some of these guys are doing $100,000 a month. And all these guys, they're dialed in with their mental game and their fitness and their food and all that stuff. This is what one of the guys put me onto, and this has changed my life. Let me know if the audio levels is okay when we start playing it, but here we go.
I'd like to tell you about the strangest secret in the world. Some years ago, the late Nobel Prize-winning Dr. Albert Schweitzer was being interviewed in London, and a reporter asked him, "Doctor, what's wrong with men today?" And the great doctor was silent a moment, and then he said,
How's that? We're good to go? Good audio? Thank you so much. I want you to pay attention to this part right here. He says, "Good doctor, what is wrong with men today?" And I truly want you to reflect internally on what he's about to say here, okay?
"Men simply don't think. It's about this that I want to talk with you. We live today in a golden age. This is an era that man has looked forward to, dreamed of, and worked toward for thousands of years. But since it's here, we pretty well take it for granted. We in America are particularly fortunate to live in the richest land that ever existed on the face of the earth, a land of abundant opportunity for everyone. But do you know what happens? Well, let's take 100 men who start even at the age of 25. Do you have any idea what will happen to those men by the time they're 65?
Notice how he said men today simply don't think, right? How many people would agree with that statement today? Type yes, you'd agree. No, you disagree. 30 seconds on the clock. Go. Do men think today? Are men thinkers? Or are people stupider than ever? Type it in the chat right now. Do you agree or do you disagree? All right, here we are. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Sergio Zabut says sí. Julian says yes. Sim. There you go. Most people say stupider than ever. Yeah, exactly. So, personally, I think, what do we always hear? The gripe of the average, the crybaby guys, the MGTOW guys. Some of these guys says, if we could only go back to the way things were in the 1950s. I think people are looking through the history with rose-colored glasses, because I do believe that American women were way more feminine back then and things weren't as bad. But I think some of the problems that we see today, we just have a wider view of the world nowadays. Like, we have a larger perspective. We as humans, we have the largest perspective ever in human history. I think this is why I see so many people like kind of miserable. I've noticed like the average worker in convenience stores and McDonald's and whatever, like I've seen people get more miserable over time. And I think it's because that person who's working at a convenience store, that person who's, a factory worker or a tomato farmer, whatever the hell they are, I think that they can look on Instagram to see somebody living a better life than them, and they reflect and they think, damn, my life fucking sucks. I'm just XYZ. And that can happen to a 6-figure computer programmer, right? If you take a look and see my personal Instagram feed, like I follow a couple people, but I mute people's stories and post all the time. The only thing I see on my Instagram feed is like billion-dollar real estate, yachts, just all
you guys don't donate
stuff.
$100 right now. You're
Thank
a beta
you.
male. You're a cuck. You're blue pill for life. You better send me $1,000 in donation right now.
And that's
Send tacos is now a Giga Chad $2 super chat. It says taco. That's how many tacos I ate last week and cheated on my diet. But really, it's not even really that bad, to be honest with you. Let's go back to this because this is good stuff.
These 100 men who all start even at the age of 25 believe they're going to be successful. If you ask any one of these men if he wanted to be a success, he'd tell you he did. And you'd notice that he was eager toward life, that there was a certain sparkle to his eye, an erectness to his carriage, and life seemed like a pretty interesting adventure to him. But by the time they're 65, 1 will be rich. 4 will be financially independent. 5 will still be working. 54 will be broke. Now think a moment. Out of the 100, only 5 make the grade. Now why do so many fail? What has happened to the sparkle that was there when they were 25? What's become of the dreams, the hopes, the plans? And why is there such a large disparity between what these men intended to do and what they actually accomplished? When we say about 5% achieve success, we have to define success. And here's the best definition I've ever been able to find.
Listen to what he's about to say. This is the definition of success. And if you're halfway listening right now, take a moment, just stop. Definitely hit the like button and then listen to what I'm about to play right here. This is very, very important. We need likes to get up to 50%. We're at 160 watching, 70 likes. I need at least 95. Please. Thank you.
Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. If a man is working toward a predetermined goal and knows where he's going, that man is a success. If he's not doing that, he's a failure.
That's it. That's it right there, guys. Okay? Are you working towards achieving what you want to do? What your internal game is, right? Whatever your end game is. Some of you guys, you want to get rich. Some of you guys want to get fit. Some of you guys want to figure out this game thing. Some of you guys want to learn how to last longer in bed. Some of you guys want to learn how to make money with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Some of you guys want to become better at your craft, right? As long as you are actively taking action towards realizing what you want in life, and realizing in the sense like making it real, like literally making it real, taking it from a thought, applying action, and making it grow and making it actually come true in your life, then you're a success.
Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Rollo May, the distinguished psychiatrist, wrote a wonderful book called Man's Search for Himself. And in this book he says, the opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice. It is conformity.
I can't agree with that statement more. The opposite of success is conformity. Haven't you guys noticed that now more than ever, people kind of like look down on rich people and like, you know, you see these morons calling for, we need to tax the rich more. We need to tax people more who are rich, right? All you're doing, first of all, if you believe that taxation is the solution to problems, you clearly have no idea how the financial system works. You clearly have not studied history, and you clearly have far too much faith in the competency of the government. If you think the solution to other people being richer than you is to take money from them, you are absolutely and irrefutably a loser and a dummy. Period. People conform. I mean, look, guys, here we are, a year later. 15 days to slow the curve, or 15 days to flatten the curve. 15 days to flatten the curve. Conformity. Conformity. You guys remember the Chad guy from my video I posted the other day? The guy who pretty much predicted everything spot on. Chris Sky from California, or not California, from Canada. Like, the only guy that's more of a base Canadian than that guy is Rich Cooper. Because Rich Cooper is base as fuck. But it's conformity. And now more than ever, you are seeing that people are ready and willing to conform. Now more than ever, people are just ready to just give up their rights, give up their ability to think, give it all up, and trust big daddy government to take care of them. Conformity, right? And only conformity to their agenda, right? People say, "Oh, you should wear a mask even though you don't need one," right? And if you were to retort with, "Oh yeah, so kind of like a gun, right? You should have a gun with yourself, even though if you don't need one, it's always good just to have one on you." And I'm not saying have a gun and tote it around and try to fucking intimidate people or whatever, but I'm just saying if everybody walked around with guns, everybody would be a lot more better behaved, because everybody's gonna know oh, this motherfucker might dump me off here, so I better call him sir, better be respectful, Again, let's talk about this. I want to play this. Here it is. Bingo. Okay. Conformity, man. Conformity is the enemy. Take a look here.
Don't need a mask. The mask is about compliance, because they know Canadians like to do what they're told. So if they tell you have to wear a mask, next they're going to tell you have to contact trace. Then they're going to tell you have to take the vaccine. And because Canadians like to do what they're told, they're hoping that everyone just complies. And then guess what, kids? Once you take your vaccine, like a dumb person that doesn't know any better, they're going to tell you, sorry, the vaccine isn't as effective as we thought it was going to be. So now you still got to wear your mask, still got to get contact trace, still have all the restrictions and social distancing, and still take your vaccine. And then what did you get out of all of this? You got a whole year where you weren't allowed to travel, your business was closed, they took your rights and freedoms, they forced a vaccine on you, and what happened? The same amount of people died, everything is the exact same, and now they're going to put you back on lockdown and bring it all the way till July of next year so they can do the same thing again. Bring you from July, August, and September, getting you off lockdown, but just to bring you back on lockdown again. If you idiots haven't figured it out yet, it's a perpetual cycle that you never get out of. And it's a way to take your rights, your freedoms, close your business, take your wealth. Why? So you become dependent on government. Why? If you're independent, the government works for you like it's supposed to. If you depend on the government to give you a paycheck to feed your family every month because they closed your business on you, now the government doesn't work for you, the government rules you. So instead of a middle class, we have the government, upper class, and the lower class dependents that rely on the government to survive. In other words, we have a slave class. And that's what they're trying to do. It's that simple.
Based. Is that not based? Throw some fucking... I mean, come on now. That's fucking...
Perfect.
Perfect, bro. Abso-fucking-lutely perfect. That is provided by Zuby. And he actually interviewed that guy. I'll put the link in the chat. I'm trying to get him on the show. I am trying to interview him. We're trying to reach out to him and get him on. And yeah, he's a good guy. The Canadian police actually just went to his house and tried to arrest him about last week. I'll put Giga Chad Truth Bomb. There you go, right there. Save it, screen record it, save it to your device. God knows if that's going to be disappeared from the internet. But conformity, guys, you're seeing how many people are not ready to conform, but willing to conform. Willing to conform. Okay? And that's what this man, all the way back in like the early days of America, in this century, has been saying. Like he just said it here, hey, these people are wanting.
If you guys don't donate $100 right now,
thank you very much.
You're a beta male, you're a cuck, you're blue pill for life. You better send me $1,000 in donation right now.
And that's
thank you. Appreciate you with the super chat. What we're looking at. Sam Whiskey, $4.99 says COVID-19, 20, 21, 22, 23. What a lot of people don't seem to realize is that the coronavirus has been around for a very, very long time. Your dog probably got a vaccine for the coronavirus because coronaviruses are really, really prevalent in dogs. Personally, I just think that this whole thing was engineered to expand the government control, But more importantly, it was just an excuse to print more money. Because if you look at the allocation of the funds that's happening right now, the allocation of the funds, of the money that they're printing, I believe like less than 20% of the printed money is going to people's pockets. Like, we got to print this money for American families. That's what Sleepy Joe Biden was saying the other day. We got to print this money to help the struggling families of the middle class, and I need to tax the wealthy. Like, you need to tax the wealthy. What are you talking about? You're not giving that money to families. You are fucking bombing Syria, and it's going to the endless war machine that has started back up already 3 months into this fucking guy's administration.
And there you have the trouble today. It's conformity, people acting like everyone else without knowing why, without knowing where they're going. Now think of it. In America right now, there are over 18 million people 65 years of age and older. And most of them are broke. They're dependent on someone else for life's necessities. Now, we learn to read by the time we're 7. We learn to make a living by the time we're 25. Usually by that time, we're not only making a living, we're supporting a family. And yet, by the time we're 65, we haven't learned how to become financially independent in the richest land that has ever been known. Why? We conform. And the trouble is that we're acting like the wrong percentage group, the 95 who don't succeed. Now, why do these people conform? Well, they really don't know. These people believe that their lives are shaped by circumstances, by things that happen to them, by exterior forces. They're outer-directed people.
Everything is everything is everybody's fault. It's never my fault. That's one thing that I believe in so much that I put it in the intro of this show. The quote of 2020 for me was, decrease your judgment of others and external forces and increase the judgment of yourself. Okay? Decrease the judgment of external forces and increase the judgment of yourself. Okay? I understand when I make mistakes. I own up to my mistakes, okay? Saturday, I got fucking belligerent at the club, and I acted a fool, did some stupid shit, right? And I didn't say it was this fault or that fault or whatever. I said, hey, shit, I fucked up. I drank too much alcohol. I got too drunk, and then, oh man, I was wilding out. It wasn't too crazy, but some chick was mouthing off to me in the club. And I really didn't like her fucking what she had to say to me. So I just threw my drink in her face, and I told her to go fuck herself. I said, you need to cool off. And I threw my drink in her face. And it caused a little bit of a scene. Not necessarily the best thing to do. I was drunk. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. But at the end of the day, it was my fault. I didn't control myself. I didn't control my drinking. I was pounding back shots. I was with Jacob and Charlie. Kusama's blowing up right now. And I was celebrating my theoretical gains before, I lost it all in the boating accident. And so, I was just happy of myself. But at the end of the day, it was my fault. And, I didn't say when I got fat, in 2019, started doing good for myself, got a little fat. I didn't say, oh, well, it's my genetics fault or it's this fault or that fault. No, I said it's my fault because I wasn't paying attention to what I ate. I wasn't, taking accountability. And this is the same thing happening here. You see, it's a pattern. You have to realize humans, we are not as special as we think we are. And if you study history, right, there's a lot of shit repeats itself over and over again. Yesterday, I was watching some World War II documentaries, right? And I was studying about the Blitzkrieg from the Nazis, and I was studying Pearl Harbor, and then I was also studying what was going on in Japan during wartime. And it's very creepy when I found out what was going on in Japan during World War II. So, check this out. Tell me if this sounds familiar, okay? If you were anti-war in Japan, okay, what happened was the local governments were using censorship propaganda and other people snitching on other citizens to make sure that anti-war sentiment did not rise. So if you're like eating dinner with your uncle and you're like, I really don't support this war, and your uncle was like a real nationalistic guy, he would snitch on you and go to the fucking local police and say, look, my nephew, he doesn't support the war, and snitch on this guy. And the police would come and take his ass and throw him in jail. Sound familiar to anything that's happening right now? There's a guy, old guy here in Tokyo. Let me tell you this story. My buddy was outdoors, right? Outdoors with his friends. And they're all drinking, and they didn't have masks on because they were outdoors, right? And this old white guy from America did like the most bitch-ass American thing ever. He ran up on my buddies, and it says like, motherfuckers like you are a reason why the coronavirus is spreading, and you guys need to put on some fucking masks. This is bullshit, right? Complete stranger. And then, guess what he did? He went, and he fucking went to the police station, and he tattletaled on my group of friends. Luckily, the police don't really like give a shit about what Gaijin do over here. So they're like, yeah, go fuck yourself, guy, right? But that just shows you like the bitch assness built into American people these days. Cancel culture, women tattletaling, pushing the report button on social media. Human nature doesn't change. Technology changes, the times change. Humans are always the same.
A survey was made one time that covered a lot of men, working men, and these men were asked, why do you work? Why do you get up in the morning? 19 out of 20 had no idea. If you ask them, they'll say, well, everyone goes to work in the morning, and that's the reason they do it, because everyone else is doing it. Now let's get back to our definition of success. Who succeeds? The only person who succeeds is the person who is progressively realizing a worthy ideal. He's the person who says, I'm going to become this, and then begins to work toward that goal. I'll tell you who the successful people are. A success is the school teacher who's teaching school because that's what he or she wants to do. The success is the woman who's a wife and mother because she wanted to become a wife and mother. And is
that right there blew my mind away. The success is the wife and mother who wanted to become a wife and mother, right? Feminism. They support everything and everyone except for women who want to stay home, be feminine, okay? Be wives, be mothers. They don't support them. They do not support them. They say, no, you have to go and get empowered, right? What does empowered mean to these chicks? You have to go out and get fucked by a lot of dudes. You have to go out and get thrown away by a lot of dudes, okay? You have to go out and become a tax slave. Think about that. That terrified me when I heard that. I was like, holy shit. Okay. Give me 1 second. I got to reload my drink.
For watching today's episode of Interview with the Man. We're going to get right back to the show. But I wanted to take a moment to remind you that if you need personal help with dating and getting your money right specifically, we offer that services over on my Patreon. All you need to do is go to patreon.com/modernlifedating. What we do is on the second and fourth Sunday of every month at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a group coaching call where men from all over the world come in with their questions on how to get their dating and their money right. If you're having trouble with your dating life, if you're having trouble with your finances, let me help you. I have turned my life around and I can help turn your life around. All you need to do is go to patreon.com/modernlifedating. There is limited enrollment. It is only limited to 150 members, and already more than half of that has been filled up. This will be filled up, so don't forget, take action now. lock in your space. Go to patreon.com/modernlifedating and let's get some coaching for you today.
We did our Patreon coaching last night, and it was really good. We actually are discussing Timothy's NFT release program. The guy's got a pre-release look at what he's getting ready to sell on the NFT market. He has already made 12 Ethereum. He has invested $700 total, and he's made 12 Ethereum. Run those numbers in your mind. The Patreon coaching is fire. If you want to sign up for the Patreon coaching, we're starting again this upcoming second Sunday. So it's 2 Sundays from now. And then the 4th Sunday. And, you know, it's such good coaching. And the guys who come in there, they really get their value. It is insultingly cheap. It is only $100 a month. If you really want to get your life sorted out and changed and learn from a future multimillionaire, give me a few months, then I can claim that one. Go to patreon.com/modernlifedating.
Is doing a good job of it. The success is the man who runs the corner gas station because that was his dream. That's what he wanted to do. The success is the successful salesman who wants to become a top-notch salesman and grow and build with his organization. A success is anyone who is doing deliberately a predetermined job because that's what he decided to do deliberately. But only 1 out of 20 does that. That's why today there isn't really any competition unless we make it for ourselves. Instead of competing, all we have to do is create. You know, for 20 years I looked for the key which would determine what would happen to a human being. Was there a key I wanted to know which would make the future a promise that we could foretell to a large extent? Was there a key that would guarantee a person's becoming successful if he only knew about it and knew how to use it? Well, there is such a key, and I found it.
Post Clarity Roar says, I hate YouTube. I can't lock my phone and still listen while I run errands. You can. You have to get YouTube Premium. It's like $10 a month. Quite frankly, I have YouTube Premium, and it is a game changer. It's worth the mental frustration. It's worth the time. It's worth everything. Just get YouTube Premium, bro.
Have you ever wondered why so many men work so hard and honestly without ever achieving anything in particular, and others don't seem to work hard and yet seem to get everything? They seem to have the magic touch. You've heard them say that about someone. Everything he touches turns to gold. And have you ever noticed that a man who becomes successful tends to continue to become successful? And on the other hand, have you noticed how a man who's a failure tends to continue to fail? Well, it's because of goals. Some of us have goals, some don't. People with...
How many of you guys have witnessed somebody with a meteoric rise? Just like, boom, like just fly. The guy just keeps getting more and more and more and more successful. How many of you guys have seen somebody like that in your life? And en contraire, how many of you guys have seen somebody who you've just witnessed spiral from greatness downwards? I have witnessed both. And watching someone self-destruct over years is absolutely heartbreaking, especially when you try to help them and they're just unhelpable. It's sad, but the compound effect is real, and having goals is real, and this is what he's talking about here. Genuine guy, a-holing guy, look, this is not the place for you to come and preach your carnivore diet and be like a psycho in the chat, okay? I just can't agree with the carnivore diet. You just can't tell me like eating meat only is gonna give you a healthy lifestyle. There's so much fucking data against that. Look at the centurions, right? The people who live to 100 years old. They are very low protein diet, okay? Look, and especially now as I've been drinking celery juice and it's literally curing me and healing my body, I can't just sit here and advocate that, okay? So just chill out, buddy. Just listen and learn. Open your mind. Don't come here to raise some shit in the chat, okay?
Goals succeed because they know where they're going. It's that simple. Think of a ship leaving a harbor, and think of it with the complete voyage mapped out and planned. The captain and crew know exactly where it's going and how long it'll take. It has a definite goal. Now, 9,999 times out of 10,000, it will get to where it started out to get. Now let's take another ship, just like the first, only let's not put a crew on it or a captain at the helm. Let's give it no aiming point, no goal, no destination. We just start the engines and let it go. I think you'll agree with me that if it gets out of the harbor at all, it will either sink or wind up on some deserted beach, a derelict. It can't go anyplace because it has no destination and no guidance, and it's the same with a human being. Take the salesman, for example. There's no other person in the world today with the future of a good salesman. Selling is the world's highest paid profession, if we're good at it and if we know where we're going. Every company needs top-notch salesmen, and they reward those men. The sky's the limit for them. But how many can you find? Someone once said the human race is fixed, not to prevent the strong from winning, but to prevent the weak from losing. The American economy today can be likened to a convoy in time of war. The entire economy is slowed down to protect its weakest link, just as the convoy had to go at the speed that would permit its slowest vessel to remain in formation. That's why it's so easy to make a living today. It takes no particular brains or talent to make a living and support a family today. So we have a plateau of so-called security, if that's what a person's looking for. But we do have to decide how high above this plateau we want to aim.
Yeah, and you know, this really makes me, you know, I'm not trying to speak this into existence, but dude, I see a lot of people, even in Charlie's crypto course, right, making a lot of money and stuff right now. But I can see a lot of people are going to get wrecked when this bull market comes to an end. And the reason is, you guys hear me say it time after time after time on Free Consultation Friday and the Tokyo Crypto Show. What is your goal? You need a goal, all right? If you don't have a goal for your cryptocurrency outcome, you are going to get wrecked. You are going to get absolutely wrecked. If you do not have a financial goal, and your goal can't be like, I need to make money, okay? No. You need to have an absolute dedicated outcome. An absolute, like, quantifiable outcome. If you don't, then you're just a ship with you're a ship at sea with no fucking goal, no destination, and good luck. Absolutely good luck.
Now let's get back to the strangest secret in the world, the story that I wanted to tell you today. Why do men with goals succeed in life?
XPD says, how much mileage is ideal for a chick to be perfect LTR material? First of all, you shouldn't be looking for an LTR. So right there, your head is in the wrong place. Second of all, the less mileage your girl has on herself, the better. Okay, getting ran through does terrible things to a woman's mind, her ability to have proper orgasms, her ability to bond with you, and her mental psyche just gets ripped to shreds the more dudes that ran through her.
And men without them fail. Well, let me tell you something which, if you really understand it, will alter your life immediately. If you understand completely what I'm going to tell you from this moment on, your life will never be the same again. You will suddenly find that good luck just seems to be attracted to you. The things you want just seem to fall in line, and from now on you won't have the problems, the worries, the gnawing lump of anxiety that perhaps you've experienced before. Doubt, fear, well, they'll be things of the past. Here's the key to success and the key to failure. We become what we think about.
Right there. We become what we think about, all right? And your thoughts are determined on what you put in your brain, okay? We talk about that real quick. Guys, you're not as independent and cool and as alpha as you think you are, okay? Neither am I. Your thoughts are absolutely 1,000% determined upon what you put into your brain, okay? If you're out and about and you're just constantly putting trash in your brain, constantly putting poison in your mind, all right? And let's talk about what's poison, okay? Now, you have to understand, this is very, very serious what I'm about to tell you, okay? Watching any type of negative MGTOW, black pill content, right? even entertaining the idea of it is toxic, and it's going to devastatingly have a negative, massive negative effect on you. Sitting around and getting mad at SJWs on Twitter, gonna ruin you. Fighting with feminists online, gonna ruin you, okay? Watching the news, gonna ruin you. Becoming too obsessed with politics, okay? What about our fucking psychotic, self-declared president of the manosphere? Can't even brush his fucking yellow teeth, all right? Can't even brush his yellow fucking teeth. But he's going to make women great again, and we're going to bring back the Republican Party and politics and this and that. Now, Big Daddy Trump's out of office. He got finessed out. This guy's fucking shit out of luck. Put a knife in Rolo's back to fucking sell out and go do some, Make America Great Again politician event. And now, I mean, he's giving us a masterclass on how to ruin your life, business, and brand, right? Think about that. Think about that. Ask yourself, how do you feel after you watch the news? Okay? Think about that. Don't you feel terribly disgusting? Me and Josh from Eat Lift program, right? Myron Gaines put us up in a fucking fantastic hotel in the Hyatt in Miami. And me and Josh were sharing the room. And I said, Josh, I'm going to teach you something. Because Josh is a young man. He's 27. I'm 35. And I really went and spent some time with Josh. And, it was really just a great time to learn from him. And he learned from me as well, right? And I said, I want to show you something, Josh. Let's do a little experiment, all right? And what we did was we put on CNN in the apartment or in the hotel room, and we both were watching it, and we both kind of got pulled in. We weren't like, I said, let's just see how this makes us feel right now. I said, I was doing this for an illustration point, and we both kind of got.
You guys don't donate $100
Thank
right
you, Karn,
now.
for the donation.
You're a beta male. You're a cuck.
Appreciate
you're
you.
Blue pill for life. You better send me $1,000 in donation right now.
And that's
Karn, $5 super chat, says Jordan Peterson also broke down biologically and psychologally why goal-oriented life works. Great stuff, MLD. Thank you. I am the supreme leader of the Hot Dude Army, and I salute you, brother. I give you a proper salute. Got to touch the tip of the fucking glasses here. Thank you very much. So American salute. None of this shit. Okay. So appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. But yeah, it's so true. But we did an experiment, right? And so we both realized that we got pulled into it. We started like, oh shit, like, whatever. And I said, let's get this fucking off the screen. And then I just hit the channel up button, right? And it went to PBS. And then it was Sesame Street on the fucking on the TV, right? I'm 35, Josh is 27. Two grown-ass men hanging out in Miami with Sesame Street on the hotel television, and we felt better. The atmosphere was different because they were talking about numbers and colors and education on Sesame Street, not like nonstop evil Trump, evil Trump, evil Trump, evil Trump, evil Trump, blah, life is going to go to hell trash on CNN. Artemis Cameron says something very interesting. Says Big Pharma are the number one donors to the MSM, mainstream media. Mainstream media helps create the depression, and then Big Pharma advertises their depression meds on those channels. That is crazy. Mac the Day Gamer is in the house. What's up? Mac says mainstream media is cancer. Avoid. Guys, so be sure to go check out Mac the Day Gamer on YouTube. He just crossed over 400 subscribers. We're trying to get him to 500 by the end of April. Go over there, check him out. His show rolls before Charlie's and before mine. So go check out Mac the Day Gamer. But let's get back to this thing here. Talking about keeping your mind cleaned and your thoughts. Your thoughts generate your reality. And what data you put in your mind is what makes your thoughts. And your thoughts make your reality. Do you understand?
Now let me say that again. We become what we think about. Throughout all history, the great wise men and teachers, philosophers and prophets have disagreed with one another on many different things. It's only on this one point that they are in complete and unanimous agreement. Listen to what Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, said. A man's life is what his thoughts make of it. Disraeli said this. Everything comes if a man will only wait. I've brought myself by long meditation to the conviction that a human being with a settled purpose must accomplish it, and that nothing can resist a will that will stake even existence for its fulfillment. Ralph Waldo Emerson said this, a man is what he thinks about all day long. William James said, the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. And he also said, we need only in cold blood act as if the thing in question were real, and it will become infallibly real by growing into such a connection with our life that it will become real. It will become so knit with habit and emotion that our interest in it will be those which characterize belief. And he also said, if you only care enough for a result, you will almost certainly attain it. If you wish to be rich, you will be rich. If you wish to be learned, you will be learned. If you wish to be good, you will be good. Only you must then really wish these things and wish them exclusively, and not wish at the same time 100 other incompatible things just as strongly.
You see, and again, for you guys that are newer, I want to tell you, like, you know, in the winter of 2018, you know, I was very honest with myself, and I was just thinking, like, dude, you're a fucking 33-year-old loser, and you quit your corporate job. You said you're going to do this YouTube thing full time, and you've been half-assing this shit, and you've been hanging out with people that are kind of fucking losers, that are negative, that are toxic, and, you know, I'm very, very introspective, and I'm very down to earth and real with myself, okay? That's why no hater can say anything to me on the internet to, like, make me feel bad or whatever, because I say the worst stuff to myself in a sense of, like, not degrading myself, but I'm my own strongest critic, okay? I know where I lack, and I know I need to improve in certain areas. And a lot of people, a lot of men like to lie to themselves. They like, if somebody criticizes them or gives them feedback, you know, they want to quickly says, no, that's not true, or, oh, that's you, man, or, you know, what about this shit you're doing, or, you know, what about that guy, he's doing this, and it's just like, dude, check your ego at the door. I constantly put myself in situations where I'm hanging out with somebody better than me, okay? The guys I work out with now, all of them are more shredded than I am, okay? When I go to the gym with my buddy, he is, dude, massively stronger than I am, okay? I started Japanese lessons recently, and my Japanese teacher, I don't fucking fight with her. I don't like tell her, like, oh, you know, blah, 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 let's fight. I don't say, like, oh, no, you know, I want to learn Japanese my way. I say, yeah, I call her sensei. I say, yes, sensei. Yes, you tell me what to do, right? I'm a fucking good student. I don't, like, when Rich tells me something, I'm not like, oh, you know, Rich, go fuck yourself. You know, you don't know what you're talking about. Rich, I mean, Rich is so rich, his name is Rich. Right? When Rolo gives me relationship advice, I don't, like, fight with him or argue with him. I'm like, okay, Rolo is a man who's lived his life. He has a successful fucking 20-plus year-long marriage. He has, you know, a very well-behaved daughter as well on top. Like, he has receipts on receipts on receipts. I don't fight with these people, okay? If my digital marketing coach or my mental coach tell me, you know, you got to do this and this, and you're kind of being an asshole here, or this is kind of not conducive to your behavior, I don't fight with them. I accept their criticism. You have to be man enough to look at yourself in the mirror, in the eyes, looking at yourself in the eyes, in the mirror, and accept all the good and accept all the bad and work on what you believe you need to fix. A lot of guys don't have the balls to do that. That's a real man, to acknowledge your faults and work on them. A lot of guys don't want to do that. Again, that's why I fundamentally disagree with these MGTOW movements. Look, it's not a coincidence, guys, that all these guys that are like MGTOW advocates, they all, how do they stream, right? You want to watch me turn this into a MGTOW stream. All right, guys, now we're on a MGTOW stream. Okay? And wah, wah, wah. Bitches ain't shit. Wah, wah, wah. Fucked everything. Wah, wah, wah. It's everybody's fault but mine. Wah, wah, wah. How many of these fuck faces show their actual face? It takes a man to put his face on the internet and speak his voice. Okay? Hiding. Hiding is what cowards do. Hiding because you got something to hide. And that's the thing. Look, being successful, think about it. It's not for everybody. Otherwise, everybody would be doing it. Being successful is a hard thing to do.
If you guys don't donate $100 right now, you're a beta male, you're a cuck, you're blue pill for life. You better send me $1,000 in donation right now.
The Oni-chan, he wants the Oni-chan soundbite. Here we go. Better turn your fucking volume down, boys. This is for you. Oh, that's been for all the bros out there. But if you work on yourself, you're gonna hear that a lot. You're gonna hear a lot of them slapping. You're gonna hear a lot of that slapping, baby. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, Tim says SMH. Tim must be in public. Sorry, Tim. But, you know, ultimately, the biggest change I made, too, in 2019, I said, I'm going to force myself to be positive, and anybody that's negative in my life or consistently negative, consistently bringing conflict, consistently argumentative, consistently not coachable, consistently just after I communicate with them, I feel exhausted, consistently confrontational and causing trouble around you, causing trouble with the fucking, your atmosphere near you, right? There's this guy that I used to hang out with, and I don't hang out with this fucking guy anymore. His name was Ramy, and this guy, everything was a fight. Everything was an argument. And he was telling me how, you know, oh, Trump is putting those kids in cages, and it's the Trump administration's fault. I'm like, bro, you're fucking Canadian. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're from Canada. You can't even vote in America. And I would fucking get in fights with this guy about this shit. And I realized, like, and every time it would be some kind of fight. And then, you know, girls around us would always be creeped out by him. And he would, like, you know, date him once. And then the girls would ghost him and shit. And he was just a creep and a weirdo. And I was just thinking, like, dude, you know what? It's time to make the cut. Because that is also data going into your mind. And then how many of you guys have fought with somebody or had a fight or whatever, and then after you're like stewing and laying in bed like, yeah, you know, this fucking guy, he's wrong because of this and that, and how dare he say this to me, and you're just like fucking spurging out in your bed thinking about some argument you had with somebody and how much they're wrong. Think how stupid that is, how much of a waste of time that is, and how much that is like anti-productive. A waste of your time. Think about that.
The Bible you read in Mark 9:23, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. My old friend Dr. Norman Vincent Peale put it this way, this is one of the greatest laws in the universe. Fervently do I wish I had discovered it as a very young man. It dawned upon me much later in life, and I found it to be one of the greatest, if not my greatest discovery outside of my relationship to God. The great law, briefly and simply stated, is that if you think in negative terms, you will get negative results. If you think in positive terms, you will achieve positive results.
It's that simple. That's it right there. Right? It's that simple. Guys, I changed my life when I forced myself in 2019, before I even made it, I forced myself. I put it all over my walls in my house. Every corner I turned. I was so fucking OCD about this shit. I put a pin above my toilet so when I was taking a piss, I would read and it would say, I, Jonathan Hogwood, consistently earn $10,000 a month from the internet, right? And at the bottom I said, force yourself to think positive now. And every time I read that, I would stop, I would close my eyes, and it would feel uncomfortable. It would feel wrong. It would feel stupid. And part of me thought like, God, John, like you're like desperate. Like this is like you're trying anything. This is like kind of psychotic. But then I would tell that part of my mind to shut up too. And I would say, I'm just going to force myself to think positive and make this shit happen. When I sat down to take a shit, I had another one pinned right there. I couldn't escape my bathroom. I always saw this stuff. It would be eye level with me. When I was in my kitchen, when I was in my bedroom, when I was in my office, when I was in my bathroom, this was everywhere. Girls would come over and be like, yo, are you crazy? I'd be like, no, I'm not. I'm living in a strange place called reality. And guess what? That's happened. Now it's laughable for me to make $10,000. Okay? That pushed me through the bear market of cryptocurrency. That pushed me way through it. To the point where I am now theoretically up pretty good in my cryptocurrency gains. Unfortunately, I lost them all in a boating accident. So, goddamn the ocean. But I would have been rich. I would have been really rich. I wouldn't even need to work all this year. I wouldn't need to do YouTube. I wouldn't need to do anything but hang out and exist and watch my portfolio grow. Your thoughts absolutely become reality. So what are you thinking about every day? Take a moment right now and reflect on what are you really thinking about every single day. You, as a man, right now, confront yourself, man to man, look at the man in the mirror right now, and honestly tell yourself, are you thinking the majority of the time positive, or are you thinking the majority of the time negative? Be dead honest with yourself, and then look at your life. I guarantee if the majority of your thoughts are positive, I guarantee you have a positive life. And I guarantee if the majority of your thoughts are negative, getting mad at shit, getting mad at feminists, getting mad at Black Till videos, getting mad at MGTOW, getting mad at whatever fucking political shit's out there, right? I guarantee your life sucks. I guarantee you're fucking broke or on the verge of broke. Be honest with yourself. Take a moment and ask yourself. Let's continue.
That is the simple fact, he went on to say, which is at the basis of an astonishing law of prosperity and success. In 3 words, believe and succeed.
Yes.
William Shakespeare put it this way, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. George Bernard Shaw said, people are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them. Well, that's pretty apparent, isn't it?
That right there pisses a lot of people off. Listen to what this man said. This is good ancient wisdom, man. I fucking love this shit. Listen to this one more time. Listen to what he said. This is what a real man does. And shout out to Gabriel Alves in the chat. He had fucking balls to write out his percentage. 65% positive, 35% negative. Okay? Currently, I'm at like an 85-15% negativity ratio. 85% positive, 15% negative. And, recently I had that surgery and I was immobile and I couldn't move and I was just like, I was on my stomach and so I couldn't fucking get up, and so I was just like literally had to like sit down, and I caught myself stewing a couple times. Write out your percentage of positive to negative in the chat. Let me see where you guys stand, and let's listen to this one more time because this is seriously so fucking based, man. Listen to this shit. Was when America was great.
Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. George Bernard Shaw said, people are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them.
That's fucking so powerful. I want to play it again just because it's that powerful. Listen it again. And if you don't understand what I'm trying to make with this, write in the chat, like tell me what you don't understand, but listen one more time to what he said. This is what a real man does.
William Shakespeare put it this way, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. George Bernard Shaw said, people are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them.
I don't believe in circumstances. They find the circumstances they want, and if they don't exist, they make them. They make their circumstances. We live in a world of abundance now more than ever. Guys, you know, everybody is like, I see so many people like crying like, oh, you know, automation's coming to take jobs and we can't work in factories anymore and truck driving is supposed to be gone. Not even taking 1 second to realize how many new jobs are being created. Do you know that there are people that are professional Fortnite coaches? They literally coach people how to play Fortnite for upwards of $100 an hour. Think about that. Now, more than ever, can you make your circumstances? Guys, life doesn't suck. If your life sucks, we're all men here. Let's put on our big boy pants and realize if your life sucks, it's because you fucking suck. If your life sucks, it's because you are not doing what is necessary to get where you want to live, to get where you want to be, to make the money you want to make, period. I'm right and you are wrong. It is the best time to be alive right now. It is the best time to be alive right now. The real Ace of Slays says the video gamers are getting laid now more than ever. That's true. That is true.
Well, it's pretty apparent, isn't it? And every person who discovered this for a while believed that he was the first one to work it out. We become what we think about. Now, it stands to reason that a person who's thinking about a concrete and worthwhile goal is going to reach it, because that's what he's thinking about, and we become what we think about. Conversely, the man who has no goal, who doesn't know where he's going, and whose thoughts must therefore be thoughts of confusion and anxiety and fear and worry, becomes what he thinks about. His life becomes one of frustration and fear and anxiety and worry. And if he thinks about nothing, he becomes nothing. Now, how does it work? Why do we become what we think about? Well, I'll tell you how it works as far as we know. Now, to do this, I want to tell you about a situation that parallels the human mind. Suppose a farmer has some land, and it's good fertile land. Now, the land...
Okay, this right here, I love what this analogy is, okay? This analogy that he's about to say right now is so unbelievably true. It is irrefutably true. And again, another, like, guys, me finding this thing has seriously changed my life. And I'm already, like, you know, high value or whatever the hell you want to label me as. But, like, I'm an eternal student. I'm still trying to get better to this day. And what he's talking about right here with the fertile land, phenomenal. Pay attention. This is unbelievable.
The human mind. Suppose a farmer has some land, and it's good fertile land. Now, the land gives the farmer a choice. He may plant in that land whatever he chooses. The land doesn't care. It's up to the farmer to make the decision. Now remember, we're comparing the human mind with the land because the mind, like the land, doesn't care what you plant in it. It will return what you plant, but it doesn't care what you plant. Now let's say that the farmer has 2 seeds in his hand. One is a seed of corn, the other is nightshade, a deadly poison. He digs 2 little holes in the earth and he plants both seeds, one corn, the other nightshade. He covers up the holes, waters, and takes care of the land, and what will happen? Invariably, the land will return what's planted. As it's written in the Bible, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Now remember, the land doesn't care. It'll return poison in just as wonderful abundance as it will corn. So up come the 2 plants, one corn, one poison. Now the human mind is far more fertile, far more incredible and mysterious than the land, but it works the same way. It doesn't care what we plant. Success, failure. A concrete, worthwhile goal, or confusion. Misunderstanding, fear, anxiety, and so on. But what we plant, it must return to us. You see
what he's saying there? And I just want to stop because Michael Murray in the chat just wrote something phenomenal. He says, I have the audio version of The Power of Positive Thinking on repeat every day. I listen to it. I believe that's by Norman Vincent Peale. And what's funny is actually that was one of the early mentors to Donald Trump. And he says, this shit you're saying is real and changed my life so much. I used to be a negative loser that hated all. It's true. The majority of your thoughts negative, I guarantee your life fucking sucks. I guarantee people don't want to be around you. Majority of your thinking is positive, I guarantee your life is on an up and up and you're doing good. And this is why I was talking about eating clean earlier today, man. There's so much chemicals and poison in today's fucking processed food that literally makes you feel depressed. Not worth it. For 1 second. Not worth it.
The human mind is the last great unexplored continent on Earth. It contains riches beyond our wildest dreams. It will return anything we want to plant. Now you might say, well, if that's true, why don't people use their minds more? Well, I think they figured out an answer to that one, too. Our mind comes as standard equipment at birth. It's free, and things that are given to us for nothing we place little value on. Things that we pay money for, we value. The paradox is that exactly the reverse is true. Everything that's really worthwhile in life came to us free. Our minds, our souls, our bodies, our hopes, our dreams, our ambitions, our intelligence, our love of family and children and friends and country, all these priceless possessions are free. But the things that cost us money are actually very cheap and can be replaced at any time. A good man can be completely wiped out and make another fortune. He can do that several times. Even if our home burns down, we can rebuild it. But the things we got for nothing, we can never replace. The human mind isn't used because we take it for granted. Familiarity breeds contempt. It can do any kind of job we assign to it, but generally speaking, we use it for little jobs instead of big, important ones. Universities have proved that most of us are operating on about 10% or less of our abilities. So decide now, what is it you want? Plant your goal in your mind. It's the most important decision you'll ever make in your entire life.
Guys, let me ask you a real quick question. Why do you think I got these signs? Why do you think I got these signs?
So, you have accepted the truth.
Russell Thompson just subscribed. Fuck yeah.
Perfect.
Let's put some golden eggplant emojis in the chat for that guy. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Hot Dude Army, baby. If you guys want to be a premium member of the Hot Dude Army, click on that link in the chat right there. Join the Hot Dude Army. You get all the Bitcoin emojis. You get all the golden eggplant emojis, the red pills, the blue pills, the wall. You name it. It's all available for you. Why do you guys think I have these signs? I could get some signs that, like, you know, fuck bitches, or bitches ain't shit, or, I'm so awesome. I'm MLD. I'm the man. Okay. I'm tricking you guys. I'm brainwashing you with positivity. Don't quit. Do it. Here. Babe, you look so cool. You guys look so cool. I want you guys to feel good about yourselves. I want you to feel like, damn, I'm the fucking man, because you should. And as long as you're working towards your goals, you are the man. How many guys have you heard call in on free consultation Friday, like, yo, I've been listening to your show. I've been watching you. I've lost 50 pounds. The haters are way more vocal than the lovers. So many people watch me, love me, and support me in silence. I don't sit here and read off my donations that I get offline. I woke up this morning. It's a small donation, but I got an $11 donation. And the guy said to me, dude, thank you so much for your content. It has changed my life. Another guy from Australia sent me a message today, a video message on Instagram. He's like, dude, your content has changed my life. Actually, recently, I've been receiving a lot of extra videos, messages on Instagram, emails, all kinds of stuff. People are just like out of the woodwork telling me, your content has helped me. Thank you so much. Right? You know, this is here for you. This is working. This is changing lives. Okay? That's why I put this stuff here. Okay? You come to this channel, your life's going to change, baby. Your life is going to change. It will. It is irrefutable. Don't quit. Do it. And babe, you look so cool. Can I be honest with you guys? I got to confess, the fact that my left shoulder constantly covers the C on cool, it eats away at my soul. It makes me feel like I get pressure in my heart. I need that C to be seen. Like, how can I do it? I'll figure it out one day. All right, let's go back to this.
What is it you want? You want to be an outstanding...
Post Clarity Roar says, no one hates on someone below them. Biggest facts, bro. Hate comes from beneath.
Salesman? A better worker at your particular job? Do you want to go places in your company? In your community? Do you want to get rich? All you've got to do is plant that seed in your mind, care for it, work steadily toward your goal, and it will become a reality. It not only will, there's no way that it cannot. You see, that's a law, like the laws of Sir Isaac Newton, the laws of gravity. If you get on top of a building and jump off, you'll always go down. You'll never go up. And it's the same with all the other laws of nature. They always work. They're inflexible. Think about your goal in a relaxed, positive way.
Look, I'm going to say what this guy wrote in the chat right now. If I get some like aha moments in the chat, I'm going to mention it. Electromatty says, it's a shame that the predominant culture in the U.S. is centered on hating yourself and others. They are teaching a lot of self-hatred in the universities now. They're teaching white people to hate themselves. I don't give a fuck what the color of your skin is. There is some treachery in your history. Okay? The Japanese killed the Ainu. The Australians killed the Aborigines. Okay? And those people before them, they killed people that were there before them too. Okay? White people have killed everybody. Asian people? You think Asia is just a continent of peace? Do you know who Genghis Khan was? Do you know that the Japanese burned Christian people alive back in the day? Murdered the missionaries. Killed them. The rape of Nanking. Okay? We all have blood on our hands if we're going to look down the ancestry path. But what does that fucking do for us in the future? What does that do for us now? Apologizing for being a man, apologizing for being a woman that wants to have a wife and wants to be a wife and have children. What is that? It is a psyop. It is a psychological operation designed to keep people down. Mao Zedong killed hundreds of millions of people. That he did. So did Stalin. So did Hitler. So did the United States government. Okay? They all have an agenda. And it's to keep you down. You are just smart enough to be here and realize, I'm pretty sure there's some sort of alternative way to go about living life. And my audience is growing. The live membership, the live viewers keep on going up, right? And like, I'm not red pill meat content. I'm not like red pill, red meat content. I'm not like, here we have today's fight, dude 1 versus feminist 2. I don't have any of that shit. It's just me talking to you guys, doing my best to educate you to increase the quality of your life. Truth is getting out there. Truth is out there, guys. Don't stop looking for it.
See yourself in your mind's eye as having already achieved this goal. See yourself doing the things you will be doing when you've reached your goal. Ours has been called the phenobarbital age, the age of ulcers and nervous breakdowns and tranquilizers.
This also struck me. Xenobarbital age. That is our age. Xenobarbital. Let's take a look at that. Xenobarbital. Okay. You go to Drug Bank online. Okay. Name, barbital. Descriptive, a long-acting barbiturate that depresses most metabolic processes at high doses, is used as a hypnotic and sedative, and may induce dependence. Barbital is used in veterinary practice for central nervous system depression. Barbital is a scheduled for controlled drug. Okay. This is an anti-anxiety drug. Okay. This fucking drugs you up and puts you into like a fucking like a comatose like state, if you will, like a waking zombie, if you will. Okay. And this also struck a chord with me here. Listen again. I'm going to rewind it, and I'm not going to interrupt because this is really blew my mind. Right. Here we go. Listen here closely.
Work. They're inflexible. Think about your goal in a relaxed, positive way. Picture yourself in your mind's eye as having already achieved this goal. See yourself doing the things you will be doing when you've reached your goal. Ours has been called the phenobarbital age, the age of ulcers and nervous breakdowns and tranquilizers. At a time when medical research has raised us to a new plateau of good health and longevity, far too many of us worry ourselves into an early grave trying to cope with things in our own little personal ways without learning a few great laws that will take care of everything for us. These things we bring on ourselves through our habitual way of thinking. Every one of us is the sum total of his own thoughts.
How many people have heard somebody talking about, I'm so stressed out, I have anxiety, I have this, I have that, and this and that? How many times have you heard that? My anxiety is acting up. My this, my that. Seems to me that it's been like it's always been happening. I mean, it's not a coincidence that this man mentions it back in the day, and we're also seeing it around this time as well. Maybe I'm wrong, but in your heart of hearts, you know what you believe. What's this video called? Definitely want to watch again. Let me see if is that the paste still there. There you go. Link to the video is right there. This is called Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret. Okay, let's continue here.
He is where he is because that's exactly where he really wants to be, whether he'll admit that or not. Each of us must live off the fruit of his thoughts in the future, because what you think today and tomorrow, next month and next year, will mold your life and determine your future. You're guided by your mind. I remember one time I was driving through eastern Arizona, and I saw one of those giant earth-moving machines roaring along the road at about 35 miles an hour with what looked like 30 tons of dirt in it. A tremendous, incredible machine. And there was a little man perched way up on top with the wheel in his hands guiding it. And as I drove along, I was struck by the similarity of that machine to the human mind. Just suppose you're sitting at the controls of such a vast source of energy. Are you going to sit back and fold your arms and let it run itself into a ditch? Or are you going to keep both hands firmly on the wheel and control and direct this power to a specific, worthwhile purpose? It's up to you. You're in the driver's seat. You see, the very law that gives us success is a two-edged sword. We must control our thinking. The same rule that can lead a man to a life of success, wealth, happiness, and all the things he ever dreamed of for himself and his family. That very same law can lead him into the gutter. It's all in how he uses it, for good or for bad. This is the strangest secret in the world. Now, why do I say it's strange, and why do I call it a secret? Actually, it isn't a secret at all. It was first promulgated by some of the earliest wise men, and it appears again and again throughout the Bible, but very few people have learned it, understand it. That's why it's strange, and why for some equally strange reason it virtually remains a secret. I believe that you could go out and walk down the main street of your town and ask one man after another what the secret of success is, and you probably wouldn't run into one man in a month who could tell you. Now, this information is enormously valuable to us if we really understand it and apply it. It's valuable to us not only for our own lives, but the lives of those around us, our families, employees, associates, and friends.
For all you guys, listen to what that man just said. A lot of you guys, I can't tell you how many of you guys came to me and you say like, hey, my friend, he's about to get married to this chick that's like terrible for him. I'm trying to tell my parents about cryptocurrency. I'm trying to tell XYZ about this. I'm trying to do XYZ about that, right? I mean, the number one way to help them is to help yourself. Okay? I'm on track to pay my mom's house off by December. And, quite frankly, it's going to feel good to do that because she got pregnant with me at 19, okay? Like, to an extent, I ruined her life. But, she's been a mother since she was 19. And, she, lost a lot of opportunities for having me and my brother and sister. So, I want to help her about. And I've told my mom about the proper ways to eat. I've taught her about the proper ways to go about starting a business. I've taught her everything, but she's just very unteachable, doesn't want to learn, doesn't want to listen, And at the same time, right, I want to help her, so I'm just helping myself. And I know at least I can alleviate the mortgage payment from her. She's 55, right? And she doesn't have to pay the mortgage anymore after this year, right? And that'll help her out. Put a couple $100 back extra into her pocket, alleviate the stress of life for her. And, that's all you can do. If you want to help others around you, help yourself, right? So true. And that's what he's talking about here.
Life should be an exciting adventure. It should never be a bore. A man should live fully, be alive. He should be glad to get out of bed in the morning. He should be doing a job he likes to do because he does it well. One time I heard Grove Patterson, the great late editor-in-chief of the Toledo Daily Blade, make a speech, and as he concluded his speech, he said something I've never forgotten. He said, "My years in the newspaper business have convinced me of several things. Among them, that people are basically good, and that we came from someplace, and we're going someplace. So we should make our time here an exciting adventure. The architect of the universe didn't build a stairway leading nowhere." And the greatest teacher of all, the carpenter from the plains of Galilee, gave us the secret time and time again. As ye believe, so shall it be done unto you.
That's the old ancient teachings of Jesus Christ. One of my most favorite quotes, scriptures, verses from the Bible is ask, seek, and knock, and it will be given unto you. Ask, seek, and knock. Knock at the door of the opportunity you want, and it will be given unto you. I don't know if that I'm quoting that scripture properly, verbatim, but that's what he says. Seek, ask, knock. A lot of people don't even know what they want. A lot of people know what they want, but they don't look for it. Okay? And knock that's the taking action. Okay? That right there is taking the action. I told a guy in my Patreon group, right? I told him something that, quite frankly, I'm kind of shocked he took action on it because so many people don't take action these days. But a brother of mine in the community, Hot Dude Army, he started a mobile mechanic business. And today he said he came to, I love it. When you guys do what I say and you get results, I fucking love it. It makes me so happy. But I said, look, dude, you know what you need to do? I said, start with the people around you in the neighborhood around you. Go knock on their doors, introduce yourself, look them in the eye, promise you're going to do a good job, and then tell them what services you have. He already got a sale first day. The rest of the people, their cars eventually are going to break down, and they're going to remember, hey, why go down to the dealership and get fucked in the ass with no lube when I could go to this guy across the street. He'll probably do a better job, and it won't cost as much, and I just have to go across the street instead of driving down to the dealership. Come on, let's be honest. Anytime we go to the mechanics, we don't trust these fucking people. I certainly don't. When I go to the mechanics in America, I'm like, how is this guy gonna fuck me, right? I like to make friends with people. I always make friends with guys that can fucking cut good hair, because I like. If you get a bad haircut or you have a bad barber, like that is just something I just don't play. I just don't. I just can't fuck around with that. A mechanic, right? And ideally an attorney. I have multiple friends that are attorneys, because you can't trust lawyers; they're scumbags. And ask a lawyer; they'll tell you. And also friends that are educated on fitness, right? And friends that are mechanics. You know how many fucking Puerto Rican friends back home that are so down with me? All I need to do is hook them up with some fucking Corona, maybe a bag of green accessories, and a couple $100, and they'll fix the car. They'll do it in their fucking garage, and they'll do a good job. I mean, and the point I'm trying to make is that this guy is entering a niche market that is very, very, very necessary to the average American person, right? Mechanic, not that necessary in Japan. The trains, London, other countries like that, probably the same, right? Cities like that, rather. But in America, car culture, like, you need a proper mechanic friend. And that's what he did. He knocked, and he got the action. Same thing here, as he's saying, right? Ask, seek, knock, right? Whatever you think about, you're going to bring about. Without having a goal, without having a plan, and without taking action on the plan, you're just a slave to someone else who does have one of those things going for him.
I've explained the strangest secret in the world and how it works. Now, on this side, I want to explain how you can prove to yourself the enormous returns possible in your own life by putting this secret to a practical test. I want you to make a test that will last 30 days. It isn't going to be easy, but if you'll give it a good try, it will completely change your life for the better. Now, back in the 17th century, Sir Isaac Newton, the English mathematician and natural philosopher, gave us some natural laws of physics which apply as much to human beings as they do to the movement of bodies in the universe. And one of these laws is that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Simply stated, as it applies to you and me, it means we can achieve nothing without paying the price. The results of your 30-day experiment will be in direct proportion to the effort you put forth. To be a doctor, you must pay the price of long years of difficult study. To be successful in selling, and remember that each of us succeeds to the extent of his ability to sell. Selling our families on our ideas, selling education in schools, selling our children on the advantages of living the good and honest life, selling our associates and employees on the importance of being exceptional people. To, of course, the profession of selling itself. But to be successful in selling our way to the good life, we must be willing to pay the price. Now, what is that price? Well, it's many things. First, it's understanding emotionally, as well as intellectually, that we literally become what we think about, that we must control our thoughts if we're to control our lives. It's understanding fully that as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Second, it's cutting away all fetters from the mind and permitting it to soar as it was divinely designed to do. It's the realization that your limitations are self-imposed and that the opportunities for you today are enormous beyond belief.
Now more than ever, our opportunities abundant. Okay, a lot of people, they want to like get mad about girls hoeing themselves out on OnlyFans and shit too, but hey, that's an opportunity available, right? You could become an OnlyFans manager. You know how many dudes are OnlyFans managers for these chicks, making some serious fucking cheddar? Don't get mad at the system. See it for what it is. See where you can profit. See where you can learn to become better and make it happen. This is why I hate these black pill people. I fucking disgust. They truly focus on the worst shit possible. The worst shit possible is what they focus on. The absolute worst of all the great things life has to offer, right? They focus on the worst. Look, okay, do American chicks suck? Yeah, they do. But guess what? You know what the shortcut to fucking banging American chicks is? Just develop a phenomenal body. Or guess what? get rich, get a job, pays you, even if you get a job, pays you like $60,000, $70,000 a year that pays you remotely with remote work going only one direction up. Move to Mexico. Move to Puerto Rico. Move to Eastern Europe. Move. You have a passport. You should have a passport if you're not fucking inbred. Get out. Make the circumstances. Make the life you want. Now more than ever, it's possible. If somebody tells you it's not possible, shake that person's hand, say thank you so much. Now I know to get you out of my life, and never fucking talk to them again. And go on about your plan. Tell more people your dreams. Okay? So when they doubt you, you be like, thanks so much for showing me who you are. Sayonara, motherfucker. And nuke them out of your life, bro. Period. Don't tell me it can't be done. Not me. I'm the wrong one, the fucking guy to tell me shit can't be done. I have every excuse in the book to hold up and be like, here's my fucking victim card. Never met my dad. Broken family. Grew up in poverty. Physically abused. Emotionally abused. You name it.
You guys don't donate $100 right now. You're a beta male. You're a cuck. You're blue pill for life. You better send me $1,000 in donation right now.
And that's
Colonel Sanders, $10 super chat says, Johnny boy, this video was very much needed after being what is that? Oh my God, I look so dumb right now. After being inundated, after being bombarded with BS, MS mainstream media video, black pill whining, manosphere infighting, and friends in comas, it's a nice respite and refocus. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. You know? Again, yeah, like General Assholing says, those black pillars are in America, still whining. Dude, if you're poor in America, you are a fucking loser. Period. Okay? Inundated. Thank you, Andy Lee. Okay? If you are in America and your life sucks, you suck, okay? America is abundant in food. Gym membership is $40 a month, okay? Food is dirt cheap in America. Opportunities are everywhere. There's no excuse. You could learn to code for free on the internet and get a job. One of the guys in our community, Fido has been trying for a year and a half to get a programming job, and he has faced rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection, and finally he got his breakthrough. And he just got a check the other day for $3,600 for his paycheck. The guy used to be a barback. And you know where he's thinking now? What's next? What's the next goal? He's not going to the club and popping bottles, being retarded, none of that shit. He is working hard towards the next step. Success, the road to success is paved with failures. The road to success is paved with failures. You got to be man enough to accept your failures. Look at the fucking plan you had, find the faults, adjust it, and try again. Otherwise, what's the point of life? $3,600 and they owed him $1,200. The man's going to get $5,800 for a month of work. What's your excuse? Really, what's your excuse? We're going to talk about excuses at the end of this one. It's a long one. We're going for 2 hours. Give me 1 second. I'm going to reload my drink here and take a look at this quick message, please.
Thanks for watching today's episode of Interview with a Man. We're going to get right back to the show, but real quick, I wanted to take a second to remind you to please like, comment, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Here's why. YouTube, this is how their algorithm works. If you don't like, if you don't comment, you don't subscribe, and you don't turn on notifications, what this tells YouTube is that this video right here is completely worthless. And we know that my content saves men's lives. So please, don't forget, take a moment right now, hit the like, leave a comment, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. It's very simple to do. It's 100% for free. One more thing, watch time is going to be extremely important in the year 2021. So if you're watching this video, please be sure to watch it from the beginning all the way to the end. That is how YouTube knows that this video is valuable. In addition to that, you can do this in the gym, leave it playing on in the background while you work out, while you're cleaning your house, whatever you do. Just please make sure to watch the video from the beginning all the way to the end, okay? In addition to that, don't forget, please like, comment, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Thanks so much, and let's get back to the show.
All right, drink is reloaded. Appreciate you guys. The like to viewer ratio is beautiful. Smash that like button. Go make 1,000 fake accounts. Smash like. No, I'm just joking. Don't do that. But I really appreciate you guys. Really love you all and appreciate you, because without you, I am just crazy dudes shouting into the ether. So thank you so much. Is that Tyler One? Believe it or not, that is not the first. You know, I met Jake and Bake live for you guys that are streamers. And the first thing he said to me when I met him, he's like, bro, you look like Tyler One. I was like, thanks, Jake. Jake and I were acquaintances. And, you know, he used to live in Tokyo. And now that he's moved to America, his streams have shat the bed. But I wish nothing but massive success to Jake. He's a cool guy. Really cool guy.
It's rising above narrow-minded pettiness and prejudice. And third, it's using all your courage to force yourself to think positively on your own problem, to set a definite and clearly defined goal for yourself, to let your marvelous mind think about your goal from all possible angles, to let your imagination speculate freely upon many different possible solutions, to refuse to believe that there are any circumstances sufficiently strong to defeat you in the accomplishment of your purpose, to act promptly and decisively when your course is clear, and to keep constantly aware of the fact that you are, at this moment, standing in the middle of your own acres of diamonds, as Russell Conwell used to point out. And fourth, save at least 10% of every dollar you earn. It's also remembering that no matter what your present job, it has enormous possibilities, if you're willing to pay the price. Now let's just go over the important points in the price each of us must pay to achieve the wonderful life that can be ours. It is, of course, worth any price. 1. You will become what you think about. 2. Remember the word imagination and let your mind begin to soar. 3. Courage. Concentrate on your goal every day. 4. Save 10% of what you earn. And 5. Action. Ideas.
Listen to this next one. 5. All that shit is meaningless without 5.
4. Save 10% of what you earn. And 5. Action. Ideas are worthless unless we act on them. Now, I'll try to outline the 30-day test I want you to make. Keep in mind that you have nothing to lose by making this test and everything you could possibly want to gain. There are 2 things that may be said of everyone. Each of us wants something, and each of us is afraid of something. I want you to write on a card what it is you want more than anything else. It may be more money. Perhaps you'd like to double your income or make a specific amount of money. It may be a beautiful home. It may be success at your job. It may be a particular position in life. It could be a more harmonious family. Each of us wants something.
So it's 2021. Right now, in the chat, 30 seconds on the clock. Write what you want right now. Go. This is a chance for you to really act on today's action. Act on today's message. I don't care what your goal is. I want to see it in the chat. We're going to read it out because your writing this out will actually help some other man out there that wasn't courageous enough to write it out. Or maybe he was watching on replay. Write out exactly what you want in the chat. right now, and let's see exactly what we have to do to get it. All right. We got financial independence, more farmland, my own business, $1 million, and an extremely accessible business, money muscles game, a woman in my life, generational wealth. That's a good one. Start a business, billionaire, buy my first house, real estate empire. I want more money, muscles, and game. Make $100K in NFT sales, pay off mortgage, happiness in all aspects, real estate, 40 ETH. I like that one. Financial independence, make over 100K, get into the shape I want to be. More money by giving value, genius. I want to bench 250 and make 6 figures. Master my programming skills. I want to find my passion. I still haven't got that figured out. Gig with a working band. I want enough assets to fund building my own home. I want an actual sex life, living by myself by end of the year. You can do that, buddy. 80K net in the next year. Beautiful, James. Let's see. 5 lakh per month salary. I don't know what that means, but it's probably money. Millions of dollars and live in Japan. See you next year because it's not happening this year. Slim lady with low IQ. Beautiful. Money and sex. I want to live completely off of real estate investments. Genius. $100,000 first. Purchase my house. More money and escape the shitty country. Nick K says purple belt in BJJ in next 18 months. Dude, that is hard. Good for you. True self-mastery. Create my sales funnel to gain high-value clients. I love it, Marshall. Financial sovereignty, $20,000 a month, and rental property cash flow. Genius. You'll get it. Fuck you, money. Very, very worthy goal. 3 rental properties. Financial freedom. Bigger physique business. Distribute the rest of my QR code business. Thanks for asking, John. Crypto millionaire. Easy. Go from 6 figs to 7 figs and quit my corporate drone job. You can do it. If you don't make 1,000 figs, more money, travel, house, women, peace of mind, kill it with crypto, quit my job, financial freedom, location independence, $500,000 and a rotation of 4 women. That's easy to do. You can easily do that. Okay, great. I'm so glad you guys wrote out your goals, and I wanted to read them out to watch the live viewership go down and chase out the losers. And let's continue on and see what we got for the next part of the exercise here. Sorry, guys, but guess what, motherfuckers? If you want your life to change, if you want your life to get better, you're going to have to get hands-on involvement with this. Nobody's going to fucking come and do this shit for you. Nobody's going to give you a fucking handout for free. If your life sucks, it's because you fucking suck, and you fucking suck because your thoughts suck. And if you want to change that shit, you got to take fucking action. And there's no ands, ifs, or fucking buts about it, period. And if you don't like that, this channel isn't for you. I'm not for you. And you go be a loser with everybody else. Go. Please, there's plenty of room for you out there. Believe you me.
Now write down on your card specifically what it is you want. Make sure it's a single goal and clearly defined. You needn't show it to anyone, but carry it with you so that you can look at it several times a day. Think about it in a cheerful, relaxed, positive way each morning when you get up. And immediately you have something to work for, something to get out of bed for, something to live for. Look at it every chance you get during the day and just before going to bed at night. And as you look at it, remember that you must become what you think about, and since you're thinking about your goal, you realize that soon it will be yours. In fact, it's yours really the moment you write it down and begin to think about it. Look at the abundance all around you as you go about your daily business. You have as much right to this abundance as any other living creature.
Look, for everybody in America, right? Let's talk about the crushing.
You guys don't donate $100
Thank you so
right
much,
now.
Dono.
You're a beta male. You're
1 second.
You're blue pill for life. You better
Appreciate
send me $1,000 in donation right now.
Shane, $4.99 super chat. Fire sign. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much, guys. Look, let's here. I'm gonna change your life for the rest of your entire existence. Right now, if you are an American or you're British or you're Australian, right, anywhere basically in the West, you know that if you step outside that door, you are going to see some fat motherfucker. Every single fat person you see out there, you should know that that is how abundant your society is. That a person can literally become obese from over consuming because they have too much. Fat equals eating too much. Fat equals abundance of calories. We are living in the most abundant time in human history. You live in Texas, you goddamn believe it, you're going to see fat motherfuckers in abundance everywhere. Let that be a reminder. If you're fat, be like, shit, I'm a fucking victim of abundance too. Our problem today in our society is that we have too much. Think about that. Abundance is everywhere.
It's yours for the asking. Now we come to the difficult part. Difficult because it means the formation of what is probably a brand new habit, and new habits are not easily formed. Once formed, however, it will follow you for the rest of your life. Stop thinking about what it is you fear. Each time a fearful or negative thought comes into your consciousness, replace it with a mental picture of your positive and worthwhile goal.
Right there. That's what changed my life, okay? Let me go full screen for this one. Negativity sneaks up on you, okay? And negativity is everywhere, okay? Negativity is in social media, negativity is on Twitter, negativity is on YouTube, negativity is on the news, negativity is probably in your mom and dad, okay? Negativity is abundant. The moment you become the master of your mind and you will become mentally disciplined enough to catch that negative thought and put a fucking knife in it, kill that shit, gut it open like a pig, murder that negative thought, kill it because it's killing you. It's kill or be killed. And force yourself to think positive. Let me just tell you what I would do. You know, Earl here is saying that replace it with your ideal situation. I would just think this, and I would, because it's just equally as crazy. Honestly speaking, how many of you guys sometimes daydream and have a negative thought, or you daydream about negative situations? Maybe like you get cancer, or you get you're envisioning your parents dying, or something negative comes to you, right? How many of you guys have caught yourself daydreaming about negativity and letting your mind run away with this negative thought and keep on building this negative thought in your mind, okay? When you catch that shit happening, you got to snuff it out. You got to snuff it out quickly, real quick. Rumination, exactly. How many times, okay? You have to be a gangster enough to catch that shit and fucking cut its throat and then force a positive thought into your head, okay? And you see, Andy Lee says, you got me. Got you. How do you guys fucking think I know this shit so vividly? It happens to me too. This shit happens to me too, to this day. Not as much as it happened when I was younger in my 20s, but I'm 35. I've been training the shit out of my system for years. Okay? How I countered that was very simple. All I would do is I would stop the thought. I would say, cut it out. Stop in my head. And then I would replace it with the most ridiculous positive thing. And for you guys that are in America, right, I would imagine a Brinks truck flying in the sky. And all of a sudden, boom, the back doors busted open. And all the money from the Brinks truck just was perfectly falling into my pocket from the sky. And anywhere I ran, I was running and I'm like, oh shit, this money is just coming after me. And the money just keeps going in my pockets. And I'm like falling down because the money's in my pockets. And it's going in my front pocket. It's going in my left pocket. It's going in my right pocket. It's going in my back ass pocket and the other pocket. It's going in my shirt pocket. I'm just, oh my God, this money is just, it keeps coming. And then what happens is my pockets don't fill up. The money automatically gets deposited into my bank account. And then my bank account keeps filling up. And I keep on getting interest. And all this awesome, fantastic financial stuff is happening to me. A lot of you might say this. That's fucking ridiculous. That is insane. Yes. Yes, it is. But I'd rather be insane about crazy good shit happening to me than crazy bad shit happening to me. Because you know what? You're just sowing seeds. Are you sowing a nightshade? Are you putting poison in the ground? Or are you sowing positivity? What you water grows. What you feed grows. What you put in your mind grows. Poison, MGTOW, black pill, wah, news, corona, the end of the world's coming. What is it? You watching all that poison? Your life is going to be poison. Or you watch my content. You watch positive motivational videos. You're reading self-help books. You're reading books on how to improve the quality of your life, right? As a man, as a human, we're deteriorating assets, okay? Our brain's deteriorating, our cells deteriorating, we are dying as we live. Does it not only make sense to mitigate the damage by constantly repairing ourselves and constantly refining ourselves and adding good things to ourselves, putting good food into our bodies, juicing, red light therapy, exercise, positive friends, positive conversation, good brotherhoods? Does that not make sense? Or am I fucking lunatic and all my success from applying this stuff is just completely mathematically lucky? You know the answer.
And there'll come times when you'll feel like giving up. It's easier for a human being to think negatively than positively. That's why only 5% are successful. You must begin now to place yourself in that group. For 30 days, you must take control of your mind. It will think about only what you permit it to think about. Each day for this 30-day test, do more than you have to do. In addition to maintaining a cheerful, positive outlook, give of yourself more than you've ever done before. Do this knowing that your returns in life must be in direct proportion to what you give. The moment you decide on a goal to work toward, you're immediately a successful person. You are then in that rare and successful category of people who know where they're going. Out of every 100 people, you belong to the top 5. Don't concern yourself too much with how you're going to achieve your goal. Leave that completely to a power greater than yourself. All you have to do is know where you're going. The answers will come to you of their own accord and at the right time. Remember these words from the Sermon on the Mount, and remember them well. Keep them constantly before you this month of your test. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For every one that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened.
And you see, I completely forgot he mentioned that part in this. But that scripture from the Bible has been instrumental in my success. Not because Jesus is fucking Lord and blah, 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 all that shit. But like because what he said made logical sense. Okay? Makes perfect logical sense. Seek, ask, knock. Seek, ask, knock. Write it down somewhere right now. Seek, ask, knock. Today, I'm doing my Japanese lessons, right? And, you know, the Japanese level that we're going through right now is, it's very elementary, okay? It's like, you know, it's time, it's numbers, it's location, right? And very, very kind of remedial stuff to an extent for me, but I don't know the fine details. And sometimes during the lesson, I feel like, God, this is so fucking stupid. I should be doing higher level stuff. But then I say to myself, no, this is not stupid. You're stupid because you've been in Japan for 5 fucking years and now you've decided to take lessons. So shut the fuck up, know your place, understand your skill level, and do the fucking work. This shit happens to me as well, guys. Okay? The moment you start thinking the moment you become unteachable and everything's an argument and it's everybody else's fault and it's not you and you know, someone tries to tell you something but you point out a flaw in them or point out one flaw in their argument, okay? That's the beginning of your end. Know your place. Objectively know your place. You broke? Go learn from somebody that's rich. Can't speak a language? Go find somebody's fluent. Learn from them. Suck at marketing, go learn marketing. Suck at sales, go learn sales. Suck with women, go learn women. Suck with day game, go. MacTheDaygamer.com. Suck with crypto, boom. Charlie, CultivateCrypto.com. You want a fucking job learning how to code? ELIFTprogram.com. You want to figure out your dating? ModernLifeDating.com. Broke? Fucking come watch my content every day. Take notes. Take action. Tell me your fucking life doesn't change. Call me, free consultation Fridays. No excuses. None. Zero. No fucking excuses.
It's as marvelous and as simple as that. In fact, it's so simple that in our seemingly complicated world, it's difficult for an adult to understand that all he needs is a purpose and faith. For 30 days, do your very best. If you're a salesman, go at it as you've never done before, not in a hectic fashion, but with the calm, cheerful assurance that time well spent will give you the abundance in return you deserve and want. If you're a homemaker,
donate $100 right now.
You there.
You're a beta male. You're a cuck. You're blue pill for life. You better send me $1,000 in donation right now.
and that's
Ledbetter, my brother. Thank you. $4.99 super chat says, "As a man thinketh, so is he." It's true. What you think about, you bring about.
Devote your 30-day test to completely giving of yourself without thinking about receiving anything in return, and you'll be amazed at the difference it makes in your life. No matter what your job, do it as you've never done it before for 30 days. And if you've kept your goal before you every day, you'll wonder and marvel at this new life you've found. Dorothea Brand, the outstanding editor and writer, discovered it for herself and tells about it in her fine book, Wake Up and Live. Her entire philosophy is reduced to the words, act as though it were impossible to fail. She made her own test with sincerity and faith, and her entire life was changed to one of overwhelming success. Now, you make your test for 30 full days. Don't start your test until you've made up your mind to stick with it. You see, by being persistent, you're demonstrating faith. Persistence is simply another word for faith. If you didn't have faith, you'd never persist. If you should fail during your first 30 days, by that I mean suddenly find yourself overwhelmed by negative thoughts, you've got to start over again from that point and go 30 more days. Gradually, your new habit will form until you find yourself one of that wonderful minority to whom virtually nothing is impossible. And don't forget the card. It's vitally important as you begin this new way of living. On one side of the card, write your goal, whatever it may be. On the other side, write the words we've quoted from the Sermon on the Mount. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. Nothing great was ever accomplished without inspiration. See that during these crucial first 30 days, your own inspiration is kept at a peak. And above all, don't worry.
And let's talk about that real quick. Seek inspiration. This is why you need to watch content that fires you up. This is why you need to watch content and put motivational data in your brain, okay? And I'm not saying watch motivational shit for the sake of, like, hey, guess what? You know, I just want to get pumped up, and then I'm going to sit down and jerk off and watch porn and smoke weed and play video games all day and not take action. And then I'm really motivated to be a fucking loser, all right? None of that shit. Be motivated and take action. Be a fucking man.
Worry brings fear, and fear is crippling. The only thing that can cause you to worry during your test is trying to do it all yourself. Know that all you have to do is hold your goal before you. Everything else will take care of itself. Remember also to keep calm and cheerful. Don't let petty things annoy you and get you off course. Now, since making this test is difficult, some will say, why should I bother? Well, look at the alternative. No one wants to be a failure. No one really wants to be a mediocre individual. No one wants a life constantly filled with worry and fear and frustration. Therefore, remember that you must reap that which you sow. If you sow negative thoughts, your life will be filled with negative things. If you sow positive thoughts, your life will be cheerful, successful, and positive. Now, gradually, you will have a tendency to forget what you've heard on this recording. Play it often. Keep reminding yourself of what you must do to form this new habit. Gather your whole family around at regular intervals and listen to what's been said here. You know, most men will tell you that they want to make money without understanding the law. The only people who make money work in a mint. The rest of us must earn money. This is what causes those who keep looking for something for nothing or a free ride to fail in life. The only way to earn money is by providing people with services or products which are needed and useful. We exchange our time and our product or service for the other man's money. Therefore, the law is that our financial return will be in direct proportion to our service. Now, success is not the result of making money. Making money is the result of success.
Ooh, that's going to piss a lot of people off. That's going to piss a lot of people off. And you know I love pissing people off. Let's play it again.
And so making money is our free ride to fail in life. The only way to earn money is by providing people with services or products which are needed and useful. We exchange our time and our product or service for the other man's money. Therefore, the law is that our financial return will be in direct proportion to our service. Now, success is not the result of making money. Making money is the result of success.
Perfect.
A lot of people ask me, "Oh, like you don't even, my digital marketing inner mastermind group that I'm part of, I'm the only person who does his business completely organically. I don't run any ads. I don't do any paid ads, none of that." And they're like, "Wait a minute. All these people are watching your YouTube and all these people are signing up for your courses. What the fuck? How are you doing it?" And I said, "I'm doing the number one thing that needs to be done these days. I'm getting men results." You think these motherfuckers stick around in my courses and my community and everything because they like me? I'm not that likable of a person. I'm a great guy, but I'm not that likable. Let's be honest. Okay? They stick around. Let's be honest. I'm really fucking likable. They stick around. I try to be fake humble there. Fuck that. I'm very likable. If you don't like me, you're probably a fucking asshole. Let's be honest. But they stick around because guess what? I get them results. The money is just a byproduct of you already being successful. Money just shows you, hey, you're providing something valuable. The market always speaks. And it speaks in volumes or deafening silence. Period.
And success is in direct proportion to our service. Most people have this law backwards. They believe that you're successful if you earn a lot of money. The truth is that you can only earn money after you're successful. It's like the story of the man who sat in front of the stove and said to it, "Give me heat, and then I'll add the wood." How many men and women do you know, or do you suppose there are today, who take the same attitude toward life? There are millions. We've got to put the fuel in before we can expect heat. Likewise, we've got to be of service first before we can expect money. Don't concern yourself with the money. Be of service, build, work, dream, create. Do this and you'll find there's no limit to the prosperity and abundance that will come to you. Prosperity, is founded upon a law of mutual exchange. Any person who contributes to prosperity must prosper in turn himself. Sometimes the return will not come from those you serve, but it must come to you from someplace, because that's the law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. As you go daily through your 30-day test period, remember that your success will always be measured by the quality and quantity of service you render, and money is a yardstick for measuring this service. Yep. No man can get rich himself unless he enriches others.
Guess what? Your business sucks? Your business is not making money? Guess what? Sorry to tell you, you suck. The service you're offering sucks. The way you're going about it sucks. The market always speaks. Are you listening or are you bitching about it?
Now, there are no exceptions to a law. You can drive down any street in America and from your car estimate the service that's being rendered by the people living on that street. Had you ever thought of this yardstick before? It's interesting. Some, like ministers and priests and other devoted people, measure their returns in the realm of the spiritual, but again, their returns are equal to their service. Once this law is fully understood, any thinking person can tell his own fortune. If he wants more, he must be of more service to those from whom he receives his return. If he wants less, he has only to reduce his service. This is the price you must pay for what you want. If you believe you can enrich yourself by deluding others, you can end only by deluding yourself.
Ooh, that's going to piss a lot of people off right there. Let's rewind that one more time. Listen to this closely. Listen to this shit closely, my brothers. Listen attentively, okay? Listen with everything you got. If you got a moment right now, out of all of the fucking shit that just happened, right here, pay attention to this and listen to this. Right here.
Service to those from whom he receives his return. If he wants less, he has only to reduce his service. This is the price you must pay for what you want. If you believe you can enrich yourself by deluding others, you can end only by deluding yourself.
If you believe you can enrich yourself by deluding others, you will only end in by deluding yourself. Basically, it's this. If you think you're going to get better results with money, muscles, game, by shitting on people who have more money than you, by shitting on people that have more women than you, by shitting on people that have more, what is it? Money, muscles, game. What did I miss? If you think shitting on people who have more money than you is going to make you more money, you're a fool. If you think shitting on people who are a better physique you is going to make your physique better, you're a fool, okay? If you Jesus fucking Christ, you guys are, you assholes. You fucking assholes. Oh, somebody just wrote something ridiculous in the chat. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this must be the serious part.
$100 right now. You're a beta male. You're a cuck. You're blue pill for life. You better send me $1,000 in donation right now.
Fucking love you guys. John Anthony Lifestyle 199 super chat says, "Love you, MLD. I learned everything from you." You motherfucker, dude. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ, that is hilarious. I'm fucking crying over here. I'm laughing so fucking hard. Oh my God, you guys are crazy. You guys are nuts. Oh, Jesus. You took away from the seriousness of this point. God, I love you guys so much. You fucking morons. Love you all. You guys are hilarious. But look, seriously, okay? If another guy's getting more bitches than you, hotter bitches than you, okay? You shitting on that guy or you shitting on that bitch is not going to get you more bitches. If a guy's making more money than you and you're shitting on that guy for making more money, having more success, that's not going to bring you more success. If a guy's better than you, if he's more shredded than you, he's got more muscles than you, okay? All of that shit, you shitting on them, it's not going to make you better. And because your mind is churning in negativity, what you're doing is you're drinking poison hoping that person will die. That's the equivalent. You're drinking poison hoping that that person gets affected. But at the end of the day, that still doesn't fucking give you the power or whatever, the authority to bring that guy down. All right? Is that not red pill as fuck? Put some red pills put some red pill emojis in the chat right now. Flood that chat with red pill emojis because you know I'm dropping bombs over here, bro. No, and seriously, that's what's happening with like look at all these dudes, like, you know, they want to do like hate videos and shit on us. All they're doing is attracting a toxic audience, attracting a loser audience, And they're not making themselves better. They're not making themselves better at all. They're hurting themselves. And it becomes a self-fulfilling cycle, okay? It's bullshit. It's 1,000% garbage. Tearing other people down to turn away their eyes from your obvious negativity, your obvious shitty mindset. Okay? It's not a winning strategy. It's a losing strategy. And this man,
you guys
all the way back then,
$100 right now. You're a beta
appreciate
male.
that.
You're a cuck. You're blue pill
Nick
for
K,
life.
thank you so much.
You're gonna send me $1,000 in donation right now.
And that's
Are you the Nick who's down in Puerto Rico? Nick K, $4.99 super chat says, men are anxious to improve their circumstances, but unwilling to improve themselves. Bars, bro. Bars for days. Fax machine. Okay? Yeah, John Anthony Lifestyles in the chat. He says, yes, of course I lied. I was jealous, but MLD knows what he's talking about, so I will follow him now. That's right. You better learn from me. Who is your daddy and what does he do? I am your daddy, and I live stream on YouTube every day, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn notifications on because I'm going to be here dropping bombs like it's 1944, okay? Let's go back to this video. Let's finish it up here. Appreciate you, though, bro. But, guys, tearing other people down, it's retarded. It's fucking stupid. Like, it literally is the retarded strategy, okay? Period. Oh, what's up, bro? Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'll get back to you on LinkedIn.
It may take some time, but just as surely as you breathe, you'll get back what you put out. Don't ever make the mistake of thinking you can avert this. It's impossible. The prisons and the streets where the lonely walk are filled with people who tried to make new laws just for themselves. We may avoid the laws of man for a while, but there are greater laws that cannot be broken. An outstanding medical doctor recently pointed out 6 steps that will help you realize success. 1. Set yourself a definite goal. 2. Quit running yourself down. 3. Stop thinking of all the reasons why you cannot be successful and instead think of all the reasons why you can. 4. Trace your attitudes back through your childhood and try to discover where you first got the idea you couldn't be successful, if that's the way you've been thinking. 5. Change the image you have of yourself by writing out a description of the person you would like to be. And 6. Act the part of the successful person you have decided to become. The doctor who wrote those words is a noted West Coast psychiatrist, Dr. David Harold Fink. Do what the experts since the dawn of recorded history have told you you must do. Pay the price by becoming the person you want to become. It's not nearly as difficult as living unsuccessfully. Make your 30-day test, then repeat it again, and each time it will become more a part of you until you'll wonder how you could ever have lived any other way. Live this new way and the floodgates of abundance will open and pour over you more riches than you may have dreamed existed. Money? Yes, lots of it. But what's more important, you'll have peace. You'll be in that wonderful minority who lead calm, cheerful, successful lives. Start today. You have nothing to lose, but you have a whole life to win.
Ooh. Bars. And we got one more piece I want to show you guys. Okay. The next piece is probably going to piss off a lot of people. However, it is absolutely true. And this, when I first listened to it, it pissed me off too. I'm not going to lie. Okay. And, you know, John Anthony Lifestyle is in the chat. He says, the only reason I tear other men down is jealousy. It's why I did it. It was to get attention. I'm sorry, MLD. I forgive you. I forgive you. I know you're a loser and you're mentally damaged and you've been to rehab and you've got a fucked up life and that's why you're crazy as shit. But I forgive you. I totally forgive you. But yeah, one more piece here. And this is from a guy who you may know. His name is Big Brandon Carter. Listen. This is 7 minutes long. I'm going to play every single second of it. And if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out. Okay? Because this is not for weak people. What I'm about to play right here, this is not for weak people. This is for men who are ready to confront their mediocrity and their bullshit in their life.
Hey, yo, stop making excuses, man. Nobody gives a fuck about your bullshit excuses. It's planet Earth. And results are the only thing that matters on planet Earth. Results are the only thing that matters. Your excuses are fucking meaningless. You can't go up to a hot chick and be like, yo, listen, I know I'm not ripped. I know I'm not really muscular. I don't have the body that you're attracted to. But yo, you gotta understand, I got school and work, so it's hard for me to work out. So you should just date me anyway. Fuck that, man. It's not how shit works. She don't give a fuck about your bullshit excuses, man. Nobody does. This is the real world, man. I can't go up to a car dealership and say, listen, man, I know that financially I'm not qualified to make this purchase. But you gotta understand, I come from poverty, man. I had a bad upbringing, so you should just give me this Bentley anyway. It don't work like that, man. It's the real fucking world. Nobody gives a fuck about your excuses. It's also the only thing that matters. You got to take responsibility for your own success, regardless of your circumstances. You're responsible for your own success. People tell me all the time, man, like, oh man, I can't eat enough to gain weight, or my mom won't cook healthy foods, or I work too much to work out, or I have school. Okay. All that may be true. It may be valid. But what the fuck are you going to do about it? You going to cry? Go sit around and just cry about it like a fucking baby? Or you going to do something about it, man? You going to take action? Or you going to cry like a little hoe? Listen, crying about shit only works for babies. That's because they don't have any other recourse. If a baby shits his pants, he can't really do anything about it, so he has to cry until someone comes and helps, until someone comes and saves him. Well, guess what? No, fuck it. You're not a baby no more. Crying about your circumstances is no longer effective for you. You're a motherfucking man, and men are expected to produce results. That's how you're going to be judged on what you produce or what you don't. But nobody's going to have pity on you, and nobody gives a fuck about your bullshit excuses. No one gives a fuck about how difficult it is for you. No one cares about what you had to go through. The only thing that matters are the results that you produce. I hear people say stuff like, oh man, well, it's easy for him to do it because he's got good genetics. Or he's lucky because he has money to buy supplements and a gym membership. Or he can do it because he doesn't have any kids. Yo, man, shut the fuck up. Don't worry about what he has. What do you have? Don't worry about what he has. What do you have? What are you going to do to be successful? What are you going to do to accomplish your goals? I mean, yeah, it's true. It's true. Some people may have some advantages that you don't have. You may have to work harder than them. So work harder than them. If that's what it takes, then that's what you do. The advantages that someone else may have has nothing to do with you and your goals. You have to do whatever it takes. You have to take responsibility for your accomplishments. Like, check it out. A few years ago, my father, he shot himself in the head. I was devastated. My whole world shattered. On top of that, I got to take care of the family. So I had to work 2 jobs. I was working 15, 16-hour days, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. And I could have stopped working out. That would have been totally understandable. I had one of the best excuses that I've ever heard. But fuck that, man. Fuck that. Giving up is for fucking losers. Quitting is for the weak, soft-ass bitches. So I just started getting up at 5 a.m. every day to work out before work. Before I went to go work 2 jobs, I worked out every day at 5 a.m. And I did that for about 2 years, man. Because I ain't going to let nothing stop me from accomplishing my goals. That's the mindset you need to have, man. You have to make up your mind that you're going to succeed no matter what. No matter what obstacles are in your way. No matter what you have to overcome, you're going to get that shit anyway. Don't just kind of go after your goals. Hunt that shit down. Rip its fucking head off. It's not a game, man. This is real life. But someone that sits around making excuses, man, they ain't got that attitude. Someone that's making excuses, they basically already given up. Like mentally, they already threw in the towel. They've already quit. So they need to make excuses to make themselves feel better about quitting. They think that making excuses exonerates them from having to take responsibility for their inaction. But that's not how it works. Because see, when you're making excuses, all you're really doing is making yourself look like a bitch. Because with every excuse you make, you're putting your weakness on display for the whole world to see. But I believe you're better than that. I believe you're stronger than that. I believe that you're the kind of person that's going to go after his goals no matter what. No matter what obstacles in your way, you're going to go after that shit. You're going to keep fighting. You're going to keep pushing until you accomplish your goals. Make no excuses, man. Make no excuses. They mean nothing. Results are the only thing that matters. So today, I want you to promise to yourself that you're done making excuses forever. You're done. You're going to set goals and you're going to accomplish them no matter what stands in your way. No matter how many times you fall down, you're going to get back up. You're going to keep going and you're going to keep pushing. And you're going to get that shit, whatever it is you want. You're going to grab life by its fucking neck and you're not going to let go till it gets you everything you want.
It's Money Monday. It's Motivation Monday. How many of you guys have been with me since the beginning? Put a 1 in the chat right now. You know, you should be proud of yourself for being in here and doing your best to learn and to better yourself early in the morning here, okay? And quite frankly, you know, you should be very, very, very proud of yourself, straight up. But that only lasts for a little bit, okay? You need to take action. You need to make it happen. I'm gonna shout out some donations real quick. My man Danny Chan in the chat just sent me a private $50 super chat. And he said these are for snacks for Happy. Thank you so much. He cannot super chat because he's in the UAE. You could click on the Streamlabs link there, my brother. Just so you know, if you want the alert to pop up and you want me to shout you out, I'm gonna push the button right now. So take a look here in the chat. This link right here is called the Streamlabs link. It's gonna be there, and it's streamlabs.com/Modern Life Dating Channel. You can use that if you're in the UAE to donate, and that way it pops up on the screen. Elijah Cohen, $10 super chat says, or $10 direct donation, and he says, "Don't try to be humble, man. To be humble means to think less of yourself." Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. So I want to leave you with the most manliest, badass quote that I have come into recently. And it is a quote by one of the manliest men to ever have lived. And it is by the great Arnold Schwarzenegger. He says, "Everybody pities the weak. Jealousy you have to earn." Everybody pities
you guys
the weak.
don't donate $100 right now. You're a beta male. You're a cuck.
Thank you
You're blue
for
pill
the donation
for life.
there.
better send me $1,000 in donation right now.
And that's
Everybody pities the weak. Jealousy you have to earn. Let me tell you something. I have earned jealousy, brothers. I have earned the jealousy of legions of dorks on the internet. They are jealous. They are drinking haterade by the gallon. They've got IVs of haterade, okay? They are taking haterade, suppositories, everything to try to take away from the fact that they fucking suck. And at the end of the day, all they're doing is poisoning their own well. They're not stopping me. Guys, you see what's happening with me in my personal life. I mean, you are watching everything that's happening. You guys that pay attention closely, you know exactly what's happening behind the scenes. You know, I told the Patreon guys exactly what's happening with me this year so far. They got the behind the scenes look, the real deal. Life is a result of your thoughts, and your thoughts, they guide your actions. What are your actions? Are they shit? Trace back to your thoughts. What are your thoughts? Are they shit? What are you putting into your mind? Think about it. Samishi, $5 super chat says, because I can, konbanwa. Konbanwa. It's konbanwa. Anyways, no, it's konbanwa. You're correct. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Be back here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and April 1st. It is not an April Fool's joke. April 1st. Mark your calendar. We are going to be here. Something huge is going to be revealed. You too can join us on the other side of greatness. All right? Go out there, earn some jealousy, keep your head up, make money, make muscles, learn game. Peace out.